Chapter 45-58. When the people around heard this, they sucked in a breath of cold air. Was this really the doing of a young man? To be honest, even they wouldn't dare to be so arrogant. The Misty Peak was not weaker than the Long River sect. Was there someone behind this kid helping him? Someone frowned. Another elder said. There was still news here, but there was no evidence. It seemed that his eye technique was related to the Rinnegan. Everyone was even more shocked when they heard this. The Rinnegan was a legendary existence. Some people wondered if it was the Chinkuan ancient city. He went there too. They knew what happened in the Chinkuan ancient city, but they didn't have the chance to go there. They were in the Tianxian continent. The Long River sect was in the eastern region of the Tianxian continent. The Misty Peak and other sects were in the northern region of the Tianxian continent. The distance between the two sides was still very far, unless they got the news in advance. Otherwise, the treasure would have been long gone by the time they got there. Old ancestor, should we make a move? Those people all looked forward. The great sage opened his eyes. This kid was now a member of the Dark Sky Pavilion, and with the talent he had shown, he would be fully protected by the Dark Sky Pavilion. It would be difficult for us to make a move. Should we join forces with the Ice Feather Palace? Someone suggested. Another elder shook his head. I'm afraid it's not good. If he really has the Rinnegan, even if we get it, we will have to fight with the Ice Feather Palace and the War King Peak. Not to mention the Rinnegan, it's not easy to get it. If the news gets out, our Long River sect will be in danger of being destroyed. Is it that serious? Some people were surprised. Another elder said that in the Chinkuan ancient city, besides the Misty Peak, there was an even more terrifying existence. It was said that it was a peak existence of the Great Sage, and he had used the Six Paths body. Then he should be the sect master of the Six Paths sect. He was the descendant of the legendary Great Sage, and he was determined to get the Rinnegan. Competing with such a person would only result in certain death. So we can't snatch the Rinnegan. However, we can spread the news, and the Six Paths sect will definitely send people to capture that kid. At that time, the Profound Heaven Pavilion would probably suffer as well. Upon hearing this, the powerhouses of the Long River sect smirked coldly. Great! The Six Dao sect was stronger than them. With the Six Dao sect making a move, the mysterious Heaven Pavilion definitely wouldn't be able to withstand it. Soon, they sent people to contact the Six Dao sect. Six Dao sect. It was also a sect from the Profound Sky continent. It was an extremely terrifying sect that inherited the Kuan Great Sage and possessed the Six Paths body. His strength was terrifying. Last time in Chinkuan ancient city, he was the suzerain of the Six Paths. The Great Sage of Kuan Su went there in person. His avatar was destroyed by the Rinnegan. This was unbearable for him. Therefore, he once again sent people to Chinkuan ancient city to investigate. She would not let any of those people from Tianji town go. When the people of the Six Dao sect went to investigate, Misty Peak directly sent a message, saying that he knew the whereabouts of the Rinnegan. The people of the Six Dao sect were overjoyed and quickly asked. It turned out that it was very likely that someone called Lin Xian had obtained it. Did you see it with your own eyes? The expert of the Six Dao sect asked coldly. The people of Misty Peak said that they did not see it with their own eyes, but they had strong evidence. Because that kid originally had the heavenly secret divine eyes. He was from the heavenly secret race. The chances of him obtaining the Rinnegan were much higher than others. What? He originally had the heavenly secret divine eyes. The people of the Six Dao sect attached great importance to him. They quickly sent this news back. At the same time, they asked again where that kid was. If they could capture him, it would be a great merit. Their sect would definitely reward them. Unfortunately, that guy wasn't here. The people of Misty Peak said that the kid was taken away by Jian Wuk of the Shantian Pavilion. It seemed that he had joined the Shantian Pavilion. Shantian Pavilion. The people of the Six Dao sect quickly returned. Soon, they set off for the Shantian Pavilion again. Not long after, they received another piece of news. It was the news from the Long River sect. They said that they had discovered the existence of the Rinnegan. That person was in the Shantian Pavilion. His name was Lin Xian. The people of the Six Dao sect were shocked. This time, they sent the great sage. They had to suppress him and bring him back successfully. When the great sage came, he was very secretive. Other than the people of the Long River sect, no one else knew. He wanted to prevent Lin Xian from escaping. In a mountain range, two figures flew back. They were the people of the Long River sect. Previously, the two of them were responsible for sending the news to the Six Dao sect. Now, they were preparing to return. The two of them were riding on an ice-flying sword. They were both late-stage Saint Kings and were very powerful. They were two elders. The two of them chatted. That kid was dead. That was for sure. He did not have the qualifications to have the Rinnegan. This time, the great sage had come. It would be difficult for him to escape. Even if the people of the Shantian Pavilion protected him, he would definitely die. The two of them sneered and sped up. At that moment, a voice came from behind them. Rinnegan. Where did you get the news? Who is it? The two elders of the Long River sect narrowed their eyes and turned around. The two of them each took a picture. The void behind them collapsed. The void within 1,000,000 miles shattered. However, there was no one. What was going on? The two of them turned around and were shocked. They almost fell off the flying sword. Because there was a figure standing in front of them. That person was wearing an ancient and tattered robe. His gray hair covered his face, making it hard to see his face clearly. However, his eyes were like lightning. He spoke coldly again. Do you know about the Rinnegan? Damn it, who are you? How dare you go against our Long River sect? The two elders started fighting. They looked at each other and then suddenly exploded. The monstrous laws turned into a giant dragon and charged forward. However, it was useless. This time, they hit nothing but air. In the next moment, they saw a pair of cold eyes that kept changing. It was a pair of green eyes that controlled their souls. The two elders knelt on the ground. They were extremely subservient. The gray-haired man began to ask, and soon, everything was clear. Lin Xian, the Shantian sect. He searched the other party's soul again. Soon, he saw the illusion of a young man. It was him. The gray-haired man's pupils shrank. He was surprised. He did not expect it to be this little guy. Interesting. His figure flickered, and he disappeared into the void. The Shantian Pavilion. Lin Xian was cultivating inside. Every day, he would spar with a few elders and talk about the Great Tao. His strength was steadily increasing. Chapter 45-59. Not to mention him, even the Shantian Pavilion didn't know because they couldn't figure it out. Not only did Lin Xian have the 9-yang divine body, but he also had the Rinnegan. On this day, a figure arrived outside the Shantian Pavilion. It was a gray-haired man with a very mysterious aura. He descended from the sky. Who are you? The guards of the Shantian Pavilion walked out and asked coldly. The gray-haired man smiled and said, "You won't know my name even if I tell you. I'm here to look for Lin Xian. He should be in your Shantian Pavilion, right? Take me to see him." You're looking for young Master Lin. The guards were surprised. Lin Xian's reputation had already spread throughout the Xiantian pavilion. No one didn't know. It was because of Lin Xian that the Xiantian pavilion was able to turn defeat into victory and hold their heads high. One of the guards said, "Okay, please follow me." Since he was here to look for Lin Xian, he was a guest. They respectfully invited him in. In addition, another guard went to look for Lin Xian. "Young Master Lin. A friend of yours is here to look for you." In the territory of the Zhang Six Golden Body Elder, the guard said respectfully. Lin Xian stood up in surprise. "Who is my friend? Could it be one of the friends from the true spirit world that year?" He was very surprised and even a little curious. The guard said, "I don't know. I've already brought him to Elder Wuk's territory. Young Master Lin will know when he gets there." Lin Xian nodded and then looked at Elder Jingguang. "Senior, I won't spar with you today. I still have something to do." Then, he left. Cranes danced in the sky, and spiritual herbs bloomed. This courtyard was very quiet. When Lin Xian landed, he saw a figure in front of him with his back facing him. "Who are you?" He was surprised. Because he didn't know this figure. The figure turned around. "It's you." Lin Xian was really shocked. The gray-haired man also smiled. "Yes, that's right, it's me. Young Master Lin, long time no see." Lin Xian was shocked. This person was none other than the person he had rescued from the divination pavilion. There were a total of 3 people who had come out of the divination pavilion with him. 2 of them were white-haired old men who had wanted to make a move on him, but they had left in the end. The other one was this gray-haired man. He had been silent the entire time and had even warned him to be careful. Later on, when so many great sages descended upon Qiankuan ancient city, these people all left. Who would have thought that they would actually meet the other party here? "So it's you. How should I address you? Are you looking for me?" "What is it?" Lin Xian asked. "My name is Xiao Mu and I'm here to find you for something. The great sage Gon's final rinnegan was given to you." Upon hearing this, Lin Xian's pupils shrank. "Are you kidding me? Who told you that? Could it be that you came to me because of this? I have to say, you're really daring. You dare to come here without any evidence. Aren't you afraid that Xiantian Pavilion will make a move? You don't have to be so agitated. I'm not interested in the rinnegan. I don't care if you took it or not. I'm just here to remind you. Your secret has already been found out by others and the 6 Dao sect has already sent the great sage Gon. He should be here in a few days. I'm here to capture you. I'm here to tell you this news." After Lin Xian heard this, he was stunned. Did the news spread? The 6 Dao sect should be the sect that the great sage Gon was in. He had the 6 Dao body, so he definitely wanted the rinnegan. However, who spread the news? No one should know. Was this person trying to test him? Lin Xian didn't speak and his expression became even more gloomy. Xiao Mu said, "I'm not testing you. I met the people of the Long River sect on the way and heard them talking about this. I used my eye technique to collect their souls and obtain this news. The people of the Long River sect guessed that you had the rinnegan, so they reported it to the 6 Dao sect. Moreover, the people of the Misty Peak also wanted to inform the 6 Dao sect, so the 6 Dao sect came. Damn it, the Misty Peak and the Long River sect." Lin Xian clenched his teeth. He said, "I said that I didn't get the rinnegan, but you didn't believe it. Since you don't believe it, the others won't believe it either. Therefore, whether I got it or not, it seems that I have to avoid this crisis. Thank you for telling me. What should you ask for?" Lin Xian asked. Just ask. As long as I can do it, I won't refuse. I'm indeed here to find you, but let me make one thing clear. Although I'm interested in the Rinnegan, I won't take it. Whether you have it or not, even if you do, I won't make a move. After all, if I get the Rinnegan, I'll be hunted by the Six Tao sect for a lifetime. I don't have the strength to fight against them. Moreover, I've been sealed in the Heaven's secret pavilion for more than 5,000 years and don't have much lifespan left. I want to live a peaceful life, so you don't have to worry about me harming you. As for the condition, you're an eye technique expert, and it seems that you can't stay here any longer. Therefore, I want to invite you to my clan. Go to your clan. Lin Xian frowned. Xiao Mu said. Some time ago, I went back to the clan and found that my daughter has grown up. Moreover, she has become an extremely terrifying eye technique expert. However, because I've disappeared for 5,000 years, I didn't recognize her. Moreover, I'm afraid that there are some people in the clan who want to harm her. Therefore, I hope that you can help her. Is that all? Lin Xian was surprised. Xiao Mu nodded. That's right, that's all. You should know that I have no malice towards you. Otherwise, I would have already made a move in the Heaven's secret pavilion. Lin Xian understood this point. Indeed, the other party had told him to be careful before, and now he had come to give him such a big news. This made him surprised and grateful. Lin Xian said, as long as you're telling the truth, I'll leave here immediately. Moreover, I can consider helping your daughter. However, before that, I have to discuss this with the people of the Shantian Pavilion. After that, Lin Xian found Jian Wu and Jian Shisan and told them to properly entertain Xiao Mu. As for him, he found Jian Wuk and explained the situation. Jian Wuk was extremely shocked. Damn it, the people of the Six Tao sect dared to come. Moreover, it was a great sage. This is really a big matter. Then you can't stay here any longer. You have to leave quickly. Lin Xian nodded. I have the same plan. I'm preparing to go out and travel. Prepare yourself. I'll have the Shantian Pavilion prepare to use the teleportation array. Jian Wuk left. He ordered people to prepare the teleportation array while he went to see Lord Xiang Tian. When they arrived at the mysterious cave, Jian Wuk explained the situation. Lord Xiang Tian's voice rang out. Oh, he's leaving. I originally wanted to see him after a while, but now it seems that I have to meet him in advance. Bring him here. Jian Wuk accepted the order and returned to bring Lin Xian to the entrance of the mysterious cave. After that, he left. Lin Xian was also nervous. He also knew that this time, he was meeting the pavilion master of the Shantian Pavilion, Lord Xiang Tian. It was the person Xia Zhuyo had asked him to find. Xiang Tian's voice rang out. I'm still in seclusion and can't come out. Elder Xia, is he all right? Chapter 45-60. Hearing this, Lin Xian took a deep breath. Lord Xiang Tian, I've finally found you. Old Xia asked me to find you. I didn't have any clue at all. I didn't expect to meet you here. As for old Xia's situation, Lin Xian shook his head and sighed. He wasn't doing very well. His lifespan seemed to be almost up. Previously, he had been sealed, but when he fought against the world of mortals, he had used up even more of his energy. Now, he was probably sealed again. Even so, the situation wasn't optimistic. If he couldn't find a way to extend his lifespan, he would probably die within 100 years. Within 100 years. Xiang Tian also took a deep breath. He said that he would use the power of the Shantian Pavilion to search for those heavenly treasures. As for the final result, I'm not sure. Lin Xian clenched his fists and said, Lord Xiang Tian, don't worry. I will definitely extend old Xiao's lifespan. Lin Xian's eyes were filled with determination. Xia Jiuyo had saved his life more than once. He would definitely repay this debt of gratitude. Sometimes, it was difficult to escape the cycle of life and death. Even great emperors had to undergo reincarnation. It was difficult to live forever. Lord Xiang Tian sighed. He was the great sage, and he was very powerful. However, the higher one's cultivation level, the more they could see. He didn't continue this topic. Instead, he said, I heard that the great sage of the Six Dao sect has come looking for you. There's no time to lose. You should leave first. We'll help you block them here. You can come back after things calm down. Lin Xian nodded and said, Oh right, Lord Xiang Tian, there's a person called Xiao Mu. He claims to be from the Xiao family. He should be from the Ai clan. He invited me. Do you think it's reliable? Xiao Mu, from the Xiao family. Lord Xiang Tian paused for a moment and said, So it's him. He hasn't appeared for nearly 5,000 years. So he's trapped in the Heavenly Secrets Pavilion. I've also heard of this person. He's a top genius in eye techniques. He's straightforward and upright. I don't think he'll harm you. So, you can go with him. Lin Xian didn't have anything to prepare. His things were all in his spatial ring. Now that he had met Lord Xiang Tian, he could leave. So he went back and found Xiao Mu. He said, Senior, let's go. Jian Wuk led the two of them to the teleportation array. The teleportation array was activated and the spatial laws enveloped them. The two figures disappeared without a trace. One day later. Suddenly, a huge force came down from the sky, enveloping the entire Xiantian pavilion. Endless barriers appeared in all directions, sealing the entire world. The saints in the Xiantian pavilion all looked up at the sky. What was going on? Someone wanted to attack their Xiantian pavilion. Jian Wuk walked out with a solemn expression on his face. Luckily, they had acted quickly. They didn't expect that in just a day, the other party would come. If he was a day late, Lin Xian might not be able to leave. Who dares to behave atrociously in my profound heaven pavilion? The Zhang 6 golden body elders snorted coldly. The other elders all walked out and frowned. It's the aura of the great sage. Don't act rashly. Jian Wuk said in a deep voice. The others also had solemn expressions. Which side did the great sage come from? Only Jian Wuk and a few others knew about Lin Xian's matter. The other elders didn't know, so they were very puzzled. Why? Where did you come from? Why did you come to my Xiantian pavilion? Lotus Ancestor walked out, lotus blooming with every step. I am from the Six Dao sect. Where is that brat Lin Xian? Tell him to come out. A cold voice came from the sky. The surrounding people were shocked. The other party came to find Lin Xian. Damn it, did they want to capture Lin Xian? They could feel the cold killing intent from the other party. Why are you looking for Lin Xian? The Lotus Old Ancestor asked. The great sage of the Six Dao sect snorted coldly. He took something that he shouldn't have. I will return it to its rightful owner. Damn it, they really came for Lin Xian. Some of the younger disciples clenched their fists. Ling Rufing's expression also changed greatly. Lin Xian had provoked the great sage. He was really in danger. Master, quickly save him. That's right, old ancestor, we can't let Lin Xian be in danger. The other sages all spoke out. Lin Xian had made their Xiantian pavilion proud before. They had already recognized Lin Xian in their hearts. Now that someone came to find trouble with Lin Xian, they naturally didn't want to. The elders also gritted their teeth. During this period of time, they had sparred with Lin Xian every day. They had also recognized this young junior. This was the future. A genius with limitless potential could not be allowed to be in any danger. The Lotus Old Ancestor also sneered. Something that he shouldn't have taken. What was it that he didn't know? Just say it. You don't need to know. Just tell him to come out. The great sage in the sky was very powerful. The Lotus Old Ancestor was also angry. Get it clear, this is the Xiantian Pavilion, not the Six Dao sect. It's not your turn to behave atrociously. With a cold shout, thousands of lotuses bloomed between heaven and earth, as if to suppress the 9 heavens. Could it be that you dare to attack me? Do you want to be enemies with the Six Dao sect? The figure in the sky also descended. It was a middle-aged man with a majestic gait. The strength of his body was very powerful. His physique was like that of a fiend god. The lotuses in the sky kept swaying. The surrounding people all held their breaths. They felt their hair stand on end. Are the two great sage going to fight? Don't you understand what he said? This is not the Six Dao sect. It's not your turn to behave atrociously. With another cold shout, a young man flew up. The terrifying figure swept in all directions. His black wings covered the sky and earth. Old Ancestor Dark Feather. Many people cried out in surprise. This was great. Another great saint had come. After Old Ancestor Dark Feather arrived, his voice was biting cold. His young face was filled with endless coldness. If you want to fight, I'll accompany you to the end. The great sage Dark Feather is very powerful. In the sky, the great sage Dark Feather's face sank. He coldly said, "That kid has obtained the inheritance of the Rinnegan. It belongs to our Six Dao sect. Make him hand it over." The Rinnegan. Countless people were shocked. Dark Feather loudly said, "You said that he has the Rinnegan. Do you have evidence?" The great sage of the Six Dao sect said, "Let him out and the truth will be revealed." Hearing this confident voice, the surrounding people were shocked. Could it be that Lin Xian really has the inheritance of the Rinnegan? It's too inconceivable. The Lotus Old Ancestor laughed. Unfortunately, Lin Xian is not in our Xiantian Pavilion right now. How is that possible? The great sage Dark Feather's pupils shrank. You want to protect that kid? I already said that it's not my idea this time. It's the order of our Six Dao sect master. How dare you? You are going to be enemies with our Six Dao sect. We will do whatever it takes to suppress that kid. Do you still want to stop us? The Lotus Old Ancestor frowned. She said, I already said that he is not in our Xiantian Pavilion. You also know that he is a young top genius and needs to gain experience. So a few days ago, he left here to gain experience. What? Left? Chapter 45-61. Elder Dark Feather also sneered. How would we know? We will not restrict the actions of our disciples when they go out for experience. So, regardless of whether what you said is true or not, you have found the wrong place to find Lin Xian. He is not here. You should go somewhere else to find him. How is that possible? He just came to Xiantian Pavilion not long ago and he went out for experience. And just a few days ago. There is no such coincidence. He must be hiding here. You let me investigate. After he finished speaking, his soul power surged out in all directions. Courting death. How can you investigate our Xiantian Pavilion? Lotus Old Ancestor was furious. The great sage Dark Feather was also angry. Don't think that you can be arrogant because you are from the Six Tao sect. Believe it or not, I can make a move on you right now. The atmosphere in the sky became incomparably solemn. Those people below were also gnashing their teeth. Damn it, too arrogant. The Xiantian Pavilion was a top-notch sect. How could anyone be able to pry into it? If that is the case, where will their face go? The atmosphere between the two sides became more and more tense. Just at this moment, the great sage in the sky made his move. He punched out with supreme power. His physique seemed to have turned into a god, unparalleled in the world. You are courting death. The great sage Dark Feather made his move. His wings were fierce and overbearing, slashing out. It was like two heavenly blades. The collision of the two caused the sky to fall and the earth to crack. The whole world turned into a big crack. Lotus' old ancestor was also ready to make his move. The great sage formed a seal with his palm and crushed a jade pendant. Suddenly, 6 phantoms flew out from the jade pendant, turning into 6 worlds. Floating around him, the terrifying power rarely came out. The great sage Lotus was shocked. The lotuses in the sky shattered. The great sage Dark Feather's expression was also solemn. The power of 6 Tao. He didn't expect that the great sage Dark Feather would carry the power of 6 Tao. It was too terrifying. The people of Xiantian Pavilion were also shocked. This aura was too terrifying. Was the power of 6 Tao sect so terrifying? The great sage Dark Feather sneered. I have said before, you are not my opponent. If you want to die, I will fulfill your wish. He carried the power of 6 worlds with him as he charged over. The great sage of the lotus flower was forced back. The great sage of the Dark Feather's face was cold and gloomy. He wanted to launch a strong attack. At this moment, an aura spread out from the depths of the Xiantian Pavilion. Boom! Boom! The 6 worlds were suppressed, and the great sage was sent flying, spitting out a mouthful of blood. Who was it? Shock was written all over his face. Someone's aura alone was enough to injure him. The great sage of Lotus and the great sage of Dark Feather were also shocked. The pavilion master was awake. They stood respectfully in the sky. A voice came from afar. You want to cause trouble in the Xiantian Pavilion with just you. Even Kuan Su was not qualified to do so. The Kuan Su Great Sage was the sect leader of the 6 Tao sect. When the Great Sage heard this, his pupils shrank and he gritted his teeth. The pavilion master of the Xiantian Pavilion. Since you've already come out, why don't you come out and meet me? You have no right to see me. The voice coldly snorted. The great sage of the 6 Tao sect had an ugly expression. He had heard that this person was the pavilion master of the Xiantian Pavilion. His name was Xiang Tian, and his strength was incomparably mysterious. In the eyes of the great sage, he was incomparably terrifying and unfathomable. No one knew exactly how powerful he was. Before he came, the sect leader had already told him to be careful of this person. However, he was disdainful. Their 6 Tao sect was stronger than the Xiantian Pavilion in terms of overall strength. Even if the other party was the pavilion master, so what? Moreover, he had the 6 Tao power that the sect leader had given him. But now, he was terrified. The other party's aura had destroyed the 6 Tao power and injured him. If he attacked again, he had no chance of winning. He gritted his teeth and said, although you're powerful, my 6 Tao sect is not weak. However, my 6 Tao sect is not to be trifled with. Does your mysterious heaven pavilion really want to become enemies with my 6 Tao sect? You can't represent the 6 Tao sect. Xiang Tian's voice sounded. I already said that Lin Xian is not in the Xiantian Pavilion. This is the last time. Get out of the Shantian pavilion immediately. As for how long you want to stay outside the Shantian pavilion, that's your business. Alright, I want to see if that kid can stay there for the rest of his life. He coldly snorted and left the Shantian pavilion. Outside the Shantian pavilion, he sat down cross-legged. It was as if a mountain was pressing down on the world. Did he leave? The people of the Shantian pavilion all heaved a sigh of relief. Their pavilion master was too domineering. With just a few words, he had scared such a powerful sage. In the following days, everyone returned to peace. The great sage had been guarding outside the Shantian pavilion. On the other side, Lin Xian and Xiao Mu took the teleportation array and left the eastern region of the profound sky continent. In a mountain range, two figures appeared. They had finally left that place. Lin Xian looked into the distance and let out a sigh of relief. Next, let's go to your family. Okay. Xiao Mu smiled and led the way. Lin Xian took out the black earth and the two walked in, resting as they flew. During this time, Xiao Mu also introduced the situation of the Xiao family to him. The Xiao family was a huge family, and it was also a soul family. They were located in Shanghai City. Shanghai City was one of the ancient cities. It had been passed down for a long time, and no one knew its specific origins. Moreover, there was a very special situation in Shanghai City. That was, all the families in Shanghai City were soul attribute experts. This was because Shanghai City was a city of taming beasts. The families in Shanghai City were all beast-taming families, and the Xiao family was one of them. They controlled many monsters. These monsters were either sold to powerful warriors or sold to the sections. They were sold to the surrounding sections. Every sect needed a lot of monsters. Some were responsible for guarding the mountain gate. Some were responsible for suppressing. Some of them became mounts. Most of these monsters came from Shanghai City. After Lin Xian heard this, he was very surprised. Beast-taming families were related to the soul. This meant that they had seen many soul attribute experts and even eye technique experts. This made him surprised, but also a little happy. This was because only by exchanging pointers with more powerful experts could his soul improve rapidly. As they flew, Lin Xian silently cultivated. 3 months later, they stopped. In front of them was a huge city. It was like an ancient beast, and it had a desolate aura and a terrifying monster aura. The two of them walked out of the black earth and stood in the air. Lin Xian could hear the roars of the demonic beasts coming from the ship. It was really shocking. Shanghai City. Lin Xian took a deep breath. Xiao Mu also looked at the city, his eyes shining. When he left, he was still a young man. Now that he was back, he didn't have much lifespan left. It was really like the sea turning into mulberry fields. Let's go. He looked at Lin Xian. Lin Xian nodded, and the two of them walked in. It was very lively inside. Experts and saints could be seen everywhere, and monsters were even more common. Xiao Mu was very familiar with this. He said that after 5,000 years, this place didn't seem to have changed much. Chapter 45-62. Xiao Mu pointed into the distance. There was a huge war beast castle there. There were many demonic beasts that could fight inside. It was a place where the great beast tamer clans competed with each other. On the other side, there were many delicacies. There were all kinds of beast materials, such as claws, teeth, scales, and so on. He pointed in another direction and said that one could buy some small beasts there and cultivate them. As for that street, one could buy a lot of information about beasts there. The entire ancient city was closely connected to beasts, which made Lin Xian feel very curious. As expected of the antiquity city, it was indeed powerful. Lin Xian followed Xiaomu and toured the ancient city. He saw some young geniuses who were much weaker than the strong ones he had met. However, there were a few powerful beasts beside him that could sweep through everything. Such people could also be arrogant and domineering. However, to be able to afford such beasts, their identities were not ordinary. Xiaomu said. Beast tamer clans were also very powerful. They were soul masters and could control beasts. It could be said that they had a lot of means to fight. Some beasts' supernatural powers could be used by them. If they could control a great sage-level beast, it would be even more terrifying. They could sweep through everything. Lin Xian was shocked after hearing this. To control a great sage-level beast. How terrifying was that? Xiaomu said. In fact, beast tamers did not only know eye techniques. There were many ways to use the soul. Sometimes, it could be combined with sound and illusion techniques. Of course, no matter how powerful one's soul was, it was very difficult to control a great sage. It was simply an impossible task. Unless one's cultivation had reached the great sage level and was proficient in the soul. Indeed. Lin Xian nodded. At the great sage level, to be controlled, it was impossible unless the difference in soul was very large. Otherwise, it was almost impossible. He asked if there was anyone in Shanghai City who could control a great sage-level beast. Xiaomu said that only one person could control it, and that was the Lord of Shanghai Palace. The Lord of Shanghai Palace. Lin Xian was shocked. Could there really be someone who could do it? How powerful was he? He said, Senior, please tell me in detail. Xiaomu said, I'm not sure either. However, there had always been legends about him. It was said that the Mountain Sea Palace Master had long since become the great sage. Furthermore, what he cultivated was an extremely mysterious technique of the cosmos. Triflower green spiritual eyes. Only he could control demonic beasts at the level of the great sage. There were 2 great sage-level demonlings in the Mountain Sea Temple, which were under his control. Even now, they were still there as god beasts. He was the god of Shanghai City, a legendary existence. Lin Xian was also shocked after hearing this. He really wanted to meet such a peerless figure. Oh right, old Xiao, Lin Xian said that your Xiao clan has some kind of eye technique. He was also very curious about this. Xiaomu said that our Xiao clan, as a clan of beast tamers, does not use eye techniques, but sound techniques. Our Xiao clan's secret technique, illusory melody. It was extremely strong and unique in Shanghai City. Other than us, there are a few other top beast tamer clans. Some of them have special eye techniques. You will know about this in the future. How do I enter the Xiao clan? Will you arrange an identity for me? Lin Xian asked. Xiaomu shook his head. It's not convenient for me to appear now because the Xiao clan does not know that I'm still alive. I hope that you can enter with a new identity and not tell anyone about your relationship with me. As a clan of beast tamers, the Xiao clan would enter the endless mountains every once in a while to search for demonic beasts. Among them, other than some beast tamers, they also needed other experts, such as saints with strong physiques. Of course, other than that, if you are a soul expert, you can also enter. Especially the Xiao clan, they welcome eye technique experts. Young Master Lin, your physique is strong and you're also an eye technique expert. Therefore, you can enter as either of these 2 identities. Then, Lin Xian asked, what do I do after entering? Xiaomu sighed. Before I left, my identity was the young clan leader of the Xiao clan. In the future, I would become the clan leader of the Xiao clan. However, after I left, I disappeared for 5,000 years and my position as clan leader was taken away by others. Therefore, my daughter's position in the clan would definitely fall. My daughter did not disappoint me. She inherited my bloodline talent and is very strong in the path of the soul. Now, she has also grown into a powerful Saint King and become a top elder. However, because of me, the clan has been guarding against her and even suppressing her from time to time. Moreover, I have a granddaughter. Now, my granddaughter is also very talented. She is the bright pearl of the Shao clan's younger generation. What I want you to do is enter the Shao clan and help my granddaughter, Shao Shiyu. He wanted her to become the champion of the Beast Tamer competition. Let her become the young clan leader of the Shao clan. The position of clan leader originally belonged to our bloodline and was lost in my hands. I will let my granddaughter take it back. Lin Xian nodded his head, indicating that he had understood the situation. Xiaomu said, "Young master, I know your eye technique is very strong and my request seems to be too much. However, this is also good for you. I can now teach you the Shao clan's secret technique, the illusory sound song. Although it is not an eye technique, it is still a path of the soul. It is a very terrifying secret technique. You can comprehend it. Not only that, as long as you help Shiyu, you can enter the Shanghai Palace. The Mountain Sea Palace is a holy land for souls. There are tens of millions of soul cultivation techniques there. Although your eye bloodline technique is at the peak, it's still not enough. Although your eye technique is very good, you can also use other people's techniques. I think that these soul cultivation techniques will not be bad for young Master Lin." Speaking up to this point, Xiaomu paused for a moment and then took out a box from his storage ring. He said, "Finally, I have something to give young Master Lin. I hope young Master Lin will not reject it." What was this? Lin Xian was shocked. He took it and opened it. Then, his pupils shrank. Inside was an eye. An eye sealed in ice by a god crystal. The pupil of the eye was golden and abnormally mysterious. It was very similar to Lin Xian's Tianji god eye. This was the eye of the Tianji clan. Where did you get it? Lin Xian was shocked. Xiaomu said, "I found this eye in the secret room of the Tianji pavilion. At that time, I was wild with joy. Who would have thought that I would be trapped for 5,000 years? Therefore, I had no interest in cultivating this eye. Young master, since you have the Tianji god eye, this eye is suitable for you. Many thanks." Lin Xian's lips curled up into a smile. He carefully put away the Tianji god eye and said, "We'll help you fulfill your wish. Then, this old man will thank you." Next, Xiaomu taught Lin Xian the illusory sound song. Then, he lived in seclusion in Shanghai City. Chapter 45-63. Lin Xian took a deep breath and walked towards the Shao clan. He was overjoyed because he knew that the Tianji divine eye was evolving into the Rinnegan. However, it was too difficult to evolve into the Rinnegan. Although he had received the inheritance of the Eye of Reincarnation from the Qian Grand Sage, the difficulty was not ordinary. Thinking about the evolution of the Nine-Yang Saint body and the Dragon Sword soul, he knew that the more powerful the attack, the harder it was. The more powerful it was, the harder it was to grow. Now that he had the Tianji Eye, it was equivalent to giving Lin Xian a powerful soul resource. As for the other soul secret techniques, they would allow him to gain a deeper understanding of the Tao of the soul. Shao clan, let me see how magical the Beast Tamer clan is. He walked towards the Shao clan. The Shao clan was a powerful clan in Shanghai City. Hence, the Shao clan's mansion was majestic and took up a vast amount of land. As an ancient city, Shanghai City was extremely vast, like a small world. The Xiao clan was in the north of Shanghai City. Lin Xian flew for a long time before arriving at the Xiao clan's territory. Looking at the majestic buildings in front of him, he was amazed. As expected of a top-notch clan, it was majestic. Lin Xian walked forward. He realized that the situation around him was not right, so he stopped. As he walked towards the Xiao clan, there was no one around as no one dared to stop in front of the Xiao clan. Moreover, Lin Xian felt that there were countless pairs of eyes looking at him. He squinted his eyes and his eyes flashed. In the next moment, he turned around and was surprised. It turned out that the plants on both sides of the street near the Xiao clan were all monsters. Moreover, they were in charge of scouting. The gazes from before were from these plants. Lin Xian was surprised. As expected of a beast-tamer clan, they were powerful enough to tame these plants and scout. He ignored her and continued to walk forward with a smirk. When he arrived near the Xiao clan's main gate, he stopped. He realized that there were many willow catkins floating around the Xiao clan. These catkins danced in the wind and circled around. It seemed to form a defensive array. Such an array surprised Lin Xian. He didn't act rashly. He felt a shocking aura from the catkin, which seemed to be able to threaten him. Interesting. He was becoming more and more mysterious. Lin Xian was looking forward to it. He stopped and carefully perceived it. He wanted to see who exactly this Lu Su was. At this time, a few figures came from the street in the distance. They were very fast, like lightning, walking over. At the same time, some voices could be heard. Fairy Yun Shu, are you satisfied with this item? This was the voice of a young man. The other young man said with a smile. That was for sure. This time, they had prepared meticulously. Fairy Yun Shu would definitely be satisfied. At this moment, a woman's voice rang out. This time, it's not bad. You guys are very thoughtful. Fairy Yun Shu, you're being too courteous. We're your disciples, so it's only right that we help you. At first, the sound came from afar, but in the blink of an eye, it had arrived nearby. Accompanying it was the terrifying aura of a demonic beast. At this moment, a voice rang out. There was someone up ahead. Who was it? Who dared to be in the territory of the Xiao clan? This person looked very suspicious. Could it be that he was sent by another clan to investigate the situation? Take him down. There was an angry roar, followed by the roar of a demonic beast. A violent force pressed forward like a storm. Lin Xian had been observing the catkins before. What was so special about them? Suddenly, he sensed that a few people had appeared behind him. One of them was charging towards him. He turned around abruptly, and a cold light appeared in his eyes. He realized that it was a demonic wolf that was charging towards him. It had reached the realm of a sage. He snorted coldly, and a cold murderous intent burst out from his eyes as he charged towards the demonic wolf. The demonic wolf was terrified. Its body trembled as it kept retreating. The person on the demonic wolf was also sent flying. He floated in the void, and his face turned cold. Roar! The demonic beasts beside him also let out uneasy roars. One by one, they became violent. The people on the demonic beasts were stunned. Damn it, what's going on? They all rose into the air. Who are you? How dare you disturb Fairy Yun Shu's mount? Do you want to die? Those people shouted angrily. Lin Xian turned around, and the demonic beasts were terrified. There were a few figures standing beside him. There were 5 of them. One of them was a young man, and the other was a woman in purple. She stood there with a cold expression, and her beautiful eyes stared at Lin Xian. Someone from the Xiao clan. Lin Xian's lips curled up. He did not care about these people. Instead, he asked, "How can I join the Shao clan? Is this guy here to join the Shao clan?" The surrounding people discussed. They all looked at Fairy Yunshu. Shao Yunshu's face was also cold. "You want to join the Shao clan? You've disturbed my mount. Don't even think about joining the Shao clan in this lifetime. Men, throw him out." Shao Yunshu snorted coldly, and then walked forward. The surrounding youths quickly controlled the demonic beasts. A few people climbed up. Two of them stopped and looked at Lin Xian. "Little brat, are you going to scram or do you want us to do it?" Looking at Yunshu's disappearing figure, Lin Xian's lips curled up into a cold smile. He attacked at lightning speed, and attacked the two people. The two of them snorted. "You're courting death." One of them attacked Lin Xian. His body was very strong, like a giant. The other person let out a sharp cry, and attacked Lin Xian. This was a combination of physical strength and soul attack. The two of them worked together, and the power was very terrifying. However, it was a pity that they met Lin Xian. Lin Xian slashed out with his sword. Whether it was physical strength or soul, everything was destroyed by him. In the next moment, his eyes flashed. The golden light looked at the two of them. The two of them felt like they were shrouded by a god, and they knelt on the ground with a bang. Lin Xian began to ask about the Shao clan. Not long after, he got the information he wanted. With a wave of his hand, the two of them were knocked unconscious. The two of them were sage kings, but they were in a very miserable state. Gate Court. These were the identities of the two of them. Lin Xian was not the only one who wanted to join the Shao clan. Countless strong people wanted to join because the Shao clan was a family of beast tamers. Moreover, there were a few famous geniuses in the younger generation, and other people wanted to make friends with them. If they could marry one of the geniuses, they would have a meteoric rise. This was also the reason why these gate courts wanted to join the Shao clan. Once they joined, they would not be battle servants, nor would they be members of the Shao clan. Instead, they would be guests of the gate court. Their status was not as high as the Shao clans, but those strong people were willing to join because this was a chance for them to rise. The Shao clan was not the only one who was like this. It was the same for other top beast tamer families. Chapter 45-64. Lin Xian did not have such thoughts, but he was here to join the Shao clan. He had received news that there would be a test in 5 days. At that time, those who passed the test would be able to join the Shao clan. Such a test was extremely difficult. Normally, one would not be able to pass without the cultivation of a Saint King. Even if one was a Saint King, one would need to have a strong physique and soul. 5 days, huh? Lin Xian narrowed his eyes. Then he would come back in 5 days. 5 days passed in the blink of an eye. On this day, Shanghai City became lively because it was the day of the Shao clan's test. Once they succeeded, they would become part of the Shao clan. They would have a chance to get close to Shao Yunshu and even have a chance to meet the legendary Shao Shiyu. The huge square of the Shao clan was filled with people. There were 2 demonic beasts in front. One of them was a majestic crane, and the other was a huge snake with a murderous aura. Its pair of green eyes were filled with terrifying power. At this moment, a Saint King walked up and charged towards the crane. The red-crowned crane's wings fluttered. His feathers turned into flying arrows, covering the sky and covering the earth as they attacked. 10,000 flying swords. 20,000. 30,000. When the 30,000 flying swords arrived, the Saint King retreated. Cracks appeared on his body, and his face turned pale. The crane retracted its wings and said coldly. He could only withstand 30,000 flying swords, which was a lower defense. Hearing this, the Saint King's face turned ugly. At his level of cultivation, he could be considered an expert in his own right. He would be respected wherever he went. But at this moment, he had become a lower existence. He was unwilling to accept this. But there was nothing he could do. The crane in front of him was extremely terrifying. Every flying sword it shot out was terrifying. He could only withstand 30,000 flying swords, which was already his limit. But unfortunately, he did not meet the requirements of the Shao clan. The surrounding people were also discussing. This guy looked strong, but why could he only withstand 30,000 flying swords? I heard that he was an expert from the body refinement sect. No way, that would be a disgrace to his sect. His master seemed to have some connections with the Shao clan, which was why he could participate in the test. Otherwise, I don't think he even has the qualifications to participate in the test. Cold laughter could be heard from the surroundings. Among them, some of them had already passed the test and become disciples. There were also some people who came to watch the show. The expert from the body refining sect lowered his head deeply. The surrounding voices were like sharp swords stabbing into his heart. He was too ashamed to stay here any longer. He roared at the sky, tore open the void, and fled. Okay, next one. The red-crowned crane at the front spoke again. A figure walked out, and the surrounding crowd was shocked. Within the crowd, Lin Xian stood there, his eyes flashing. Was this the so-called test? He could tell that the crane's flying sword was used to test one's physique. As for the blue-eyed snake, it was used to test souls. Only those with outstanding physiques or souls were qualified to join the sect. If that person was placed in another world, he would definitely be a top expert. However, in an ancient city like Shanghai City, he was nothing. It was actually young Master Xiaoyao. The crowd exclaimed in surprise. The figure that walked up was extremely famous. It was a man in blue robes. His face was handsome, and he held a fan in his hand, looking just like an immortal. He strolled casually, as though he had ascended to immortality, and came to the front. I want to test my soul, Mr. Xiaoyao said indifferently. The white-crowned crane nodded its head, and the blue-eyed snake beside it let out an extremely sharp glow. A pair of eyes of the void appeared in the sky. They were jade green in color, and they were emanating a frightening power of the soul. The surrounding people felt their scalps go numb. This was too horrifying. After the first jade green eye, the second and third appeared one after another. Very quickly, there were 7. 7 eyes of the soul enveloped Mr. Xiaoyao. Mr. Xiaoyao was able to defend against all of them. He only left when the 8th eye of the soul appeared. The surrounding people were shocked. Heavens! Mr. Xiaoyao's soul was truly strong. To think that he could defend against 7 eyes of the soul. No matter where he was, he would be a top soul expert. Why would he come here and be willing to join a sect? Don't you know that Mr. Xiaoyao is here to chase after Fairy Yunshu? So that was the case. Everyone was enlightened. Xiao Yunshu, the pride of the Shao clan. She had a peerless beauty, top-notch talent, and an extraordinary identity. This made her the famous pearl of Shanghai City. Countless experts and geniuses were chasing after her. Mr. Xiaoyao was naturally no exception. This person was pretty strong. In the distance, in the pavilions that were floating in the sky, the experts of the Shao clan stood there. They looked at the scene in the square and started discussing. Amongst them, some of the ladies of the Shao clan laughed. This person is pretty good. But it's a pity that he's not here for us. Yunshu Mimi, he's here for you, you know. Many ladies of the Shao clan looked at a figure in purple. It was Xiao Yunshu. Xiao Yunshu looked down and nodded her head slightly. Not bad indeed. This person could become her disciple. Below, Mr. Xiaoyao, who had successfully defended against the 7 eyes of the soul, smirked. He walked back with victory, receiving the envy of countless people. When he came to the crowd, he frowned slightly. This was because there was a person who was expressionless. He looked at that person. That person was wearing a red robe. He could not detect the aura on his body. It seemed like he had not reached the Saint King realm. Such a person dared to be expressionless in front of his victory. How despicable. But soon, he ignored him. He was just an ant. Maybe he did not know what it meant for him to block the 7 eyes of the soul. With his talent, if he was not chasing after Xiao Yunshu, would he need to come here? He was confident that if he was given 3 years, he would be able to chase after Xiao Yunshu. At that time, he would be the master of the Shao clan. Lin Xian looked at Mr. Xiaoyao expressionlessly. What was there to be happy about blocking the 7 eyes of the soul? He shook his head slightly. Ignoring him, Zhang Xian continued walking forward. Around them, countless people turned their heads. Was someone participating in the test? The current Mr. Xiaoyao had pushed the test to the extreme. No one could beat him. Now, after Mr. Xiaoyao, everyone would feel the pressure. For a moment, no one dared to step out. But now, someone actually dared to step out. He had absolute confidence in his own strength. Which top-notch mister came to chase after the fairy? They all looked over. But when they saw Lin Xian, their faces were filled with shock. Who was this person? Which sect was he from? Which clan was he from? No idea. He was unfamiliar. They had never seen him before. Maybe he came because he wanted to become a disciple. That would be pointless. I reckon that this person would also end up being eliminated. Chapter 45-65. Even an ant dares to step forward. Young Master Xiaoyao looked at him and sneered. Far away in the sky, the people in the pavilion laughed when they saw this. Xiao Yunshu frowned. What's going on? It's this guy. Didn't she ask someone to get rid of this guy? Why is he still alive? Moreover, he came here to take the test. Seeing Xiao Yunshu's expression, a girl beside her laughed. Does Sister Yunshu know this guy? Xiao Yunshu snorted. I don't know him. Damn this guy. Let him take the test. He won't pass anyway. What do you want to test? Below, Bai He asked. Lin Xian looked at Bai He and said. Test his physique. Test his physique. Is he also a physique cultivator? Many people were surprised. Bai He nodded. He treated those who came to take the test seriously. Next, it spread out its wings, and countless feathers once again turned into flying swords that flew towards Lin Xian. 10,000, 20,000. Young Master Xiaoyao sneered. This guy's physique is so weak. He can't even block 10,000 flying swords. Soon, he was stunned because he found that Lin Xian had blocked 30,000 flying swords. This guy's physique is so strong. In the pavilion, Xiao Yunshu was also surprised. This was a little interesting. It was beyond her expectations. Her lips curled into a sneer. She wanted to see if he could block 10,000 flying swords. She knew Bai He's methods. She guessed that his limit was 50,000 flying swords. But soon, the smile on her face disappeared. Below, Lin Xian had blocked 70,000 flying swords. Not only her, the other people in the Shao clan were also surprised. The people below were even more shocked. This guy's physique is so strong. Blocking 70,000 flying swords. In terms of physique talent, it was not weaker than young Master Xiao Yao's soul talent. Indeed, young Master Xiao Yao blocked 7 soul eyes. Lin Xian blocked 70,000 flying swords. They were evenly matched in terms of talent. Young Master Xiao Yao's face turned cold. Damn it, how could it be? Did I misjudge? This guy is a genius that is not weaker than me. Then what is he doing here? Is he here to pursue Xiao Yunshu? For a moment, Mr. Xiao Yao had taken Lin Xian as a strong competitor. The White Crane was equally surprised. He asked, "Should we continue?" Lin Xian nodded and continued. The number of flying swords continued to increase and soon reached 90,000. However, Lin Xian still did not retreat. When the 100,000 flying swords disappeared, the entire scene was silent. The crowd found it hard to believe that this young man could withstand 100,000 fairies. The White Crane did not attack again because the limit of the entire test was 100,000 flying swords. There was no need to continue testing. This person's physique was extremely strong. In the sky, in the pavilion, Xiao Yunshu was also stunned. She had looked down on this person before. He was just an ant who had scared her demonic beast. He deserved to die. But now she changed her mind. She stood up and said in a clear voice, "I want this person." His voice was transmitted down. The people in the square raised their heads and looked into the distance. They all cried out in surprise. It was Fairy Yunshu. Heavens, she actually said it herself. This person's future was limitless. Could it be that Fairy Yunshu had taken a fancy to him? Many people were envious of Xiao Yunshu. Young Master Xiao Yao came back to his senses. His face was ashen and ugly. He gritted his teeth so hard that they broke. This damned brat. He actually stole my limelight. This scene should have belonged to him. Damn it. He stared at Lin Xian, his eyes exuding an extremely cold killing intent. Lin Xian looked into the distance and saw Xiao Yunshu. He was also stunned. Then, he said, "I refuse." What? The crowd was stunned again. They could not believe what they had just heard. Fairy Yunshu had personally invited him, but he had actually refused. This brat must be stupid. Young Master Xiao Yao almost vomited blood. What kind of joke was this? This was the scene he had dreamed of, but he had been so easily rejected by the other party. The people of the Xiao clan were in an uproar. Xiao Yunshu was even more furious. What did he say? You dare to reject me? Do you know what you're saying? I'll give you a chance to take back your words. She looked down from above like a god looking down on the people below. Lin Xian said, "I didn't come to the Xiao clan for you. I came to find Xiao Shiyu." Where was she? Xiao Shiyu. The people of the Xiao clan were shocked. They looked at Lin Xian with strange expressions. Xiao Yunshu was even more stunned. Then, she sneered. Who do you think you are? You want to see Xiao Shiyu? Let me tell you, you won't have the chance. The others were also in an uproar. This brat was not here for Fairy Yunshu, but for Fairy Shiyu. Unfortunately, even if he blocked 100,000 flying swords, he was not qualified to become Fairy Shiyu's disciple. Why? Lin Xian asked with a frown. He walked over from behind and said in a deep voice. Shiyu had been cultivating in seclusion recently. More importantly, she did not need a disciple. Indeed, Xiao Shiyu did not have a disciple by her side. Perhaps she would not have one in the future. So that's the reason. Lin Xian frowned. He said, "All right, I'll follow you for now." Despicable brat. Xiao Yunshu was about to faint from anger. What was she? A backup? Damn it. She wanted to refuse, but after thinking about it, she sneered. She must take this brat in and then slowly torture him. She would let him know the consequences of offending her. After the test, Lin Xian, young master Xiao Yao, and 3 other people became Yunshu's disciples. After Yunshu left, he brought the few of them to his residence. 5 people, in addition to the original 10, Xiao Yunshu now had 15 people by her side. Xiao Yunshu stood there and looked at young master Xiao Yao with a smile. Xiao Yao, these people will be under your command in the future. Is that true? That's great. Fairy Yunshu was relieved. Young master Xiao Yao was stunned for a moment, then his happiness disappeared. He glanced at Lin Xian with a complacent look. This brat was so talented, but he dared to offend Xiao Yunshu. Looks like he'll be unlucky in the future. Alright, get ready. We'll go hunting in 10 days. After saying that, Xiao Yunshu left. She had her own things to do. Alright, everyone listen to me. Go and get ready. This time, we must make Yunshu satisfied. Young master Xiao Yao waved his hand, looking like a leader. The others had seen young master Xiao Yao's talent and naturally knew his strength, so no one resisted. Lin Xian glanced at him, then found a mountain range and sat down cross-legged. Damned bastard, did you not understand my orders? Young master Xiao Yao saw this scene and was furious. This brat dared to ignore him. Lin Xian opened his eyes and said, I came here to find Xiao Shiyu, not to listen to you. If you want to order me around, you can defeat me. Of course, if you challenge me, you'll die if you lose. After saying that, Lin Xian closed his eyes. Damn it, young master Xiao Yao was mad. He really wanted to attack. However, when he thought of his opponent's physique, he was not confident. Chapter 45-66. Lin Xian closed his eyes, sat on the mountain peak, and began to cultivate. A spell appeared in his mind. Song of Illusions. This was taught to him by Xiao Mu, and it was also the Xiao family's secret technique. It was a terrifying soul technique. Lin Xian was browsing and comprehending it. He came to the Xiao mansion not only to help Xiao Shiyu, but also for his own cultivation. Moreover, he had an idea. Since this was Shanghai City, and everyone was a beast tamer family, why not use this opportunity to become a beast tamer? This way, even if he was alone, he could control thousands of beasts. When the time came, he could return to the Misty Peak and take revenge. One must know that other than him, his old friends were all suppressed there, waiting to fight. Lin Xian wanted to go back and save them, but it was impossible with his own strength. If he could control thousands of beasts and kill his way back, then who could stop him? Therefore, Lin Xian decided to quickly comprehend the Song of Illusions and other soul techniques to control the beasts. 10 days passed in the blink of an eye. On this day, Xiao Yunshu came again. She was riding a beast, looking extraordinarily majestic. Today, she was wearing a set of exquisite armor. She also wore a jade flute. She looked like a fairy who had descended to the mortal world. The other families were stunned. Xiao Yunshu looked around and frowned slightly. Lin Xian didn't come. She looked at Mr. Xiao Yao and asked, Is everyone not here yet? Mr. Xiao Yao also frowned. After that guy came, he found a place to cultivate and didn't care about anything else. I'll go find him now. After saying that, she prepared to lead the others to suppress Lin Xian. A figure flew over. I'm not too late, right? Xiao Yunshu saw Lin Xian and snorted. You came in time. Let's go. She waved her hand, and immediately, the people around her moved with her. Xiao Yunshu's mount was extraordinary. It was a beast of heaven and earth, a jade-white lion. He sprinted through the air as clouds rose from beneath his feet. He carried Xiao Yunshu with him as he flew through the air at an incredible speed. The surrounding sects also took out their own mounts and followed. Even young Master Xiao Yao had one. Young Master Xiao Yao was sitting on a blazing godly hawk, looking extraordinarily mighty. Lin Xian was the only one who didn't. He stepped into the air and flew. The surrounding people originally wanted to laugh at him, but they realized that Lin Xian's speed was really fast. In the blink of an eye, he was already out of sight. Damn it, they also urged their mounts to give chase. Shanghai City had a unique geography, with one side facing the mountains and the other side facing the ocean. This time, they were going to the 100,000 mountains. There were many demon beasts there. Every beast-taming family would go there to look for demon beasts and bring them back for training. Xiao Yunshu stopped in front of the 100,000 mountains and said coldly, "All right, I'll give you another test this time. Go down and come back before dark. Whoever brings back the most demonic beasts and the highest grade will be the winner. I'll reward whoever is ranked at the top." The eyes of those men Ting lit up as they flew down towards the mountain range swiftly. Mr. Xiao Yao was equally excited. He knew that the time of the Mountain Sea Beast Trials was very close. The Mountain Sea Beast Trials was a battle held in Shanghai City. All the beast-taming families in Shanghai City had to participate. These beast-taming families were very powerful, but they were still no match for Shanghai Palace. Therefore, the geniuses and experts of these families wanted to join. The only way to join Shanghai Palace was through the Mountain Sea Beast Trials. As long as one could achieve good results in this battle and shine brightly, they would be selected. Xiao Yunshu would naturally participate in this Mountain Sea Beast Trials. Moreover, she would choose some helpers to help him. If he was selected, he could stay with Xiao Yunshu every day. This way, the chances of catching up with her would be much higher. Young Master Xiao Yao's eyes lit up. He clenched his fists. He must get this spot. Lin Xian didn't know about these things. He was thinking about how many demon beasts he had to fight. He didn't want to show his strength and talent. Therefore, he was prepared to keep a low profile. Boom! Boom! Lin Xian moved quickly. He didn't care about ordinary demon beasts at all. He also ignored those saint-level beasts. Because with his current strength and vision, to be his opponent, one had to be at least Saint King level. Therefore, Lin Xian fought 10 Saint King level demon beasts. These demon beasts were very strong at first. When they saw a small human daring to come, they immediately roared. But with a single slap from Lin Xian, these demonic beasts had all submitted to him. That should be enough, right? Lin Xian used the chains of law to bind these demon beasts. Then, he looked at the time and realized that there was still half a day before the sky turned dark. Therefore, he prepared to continue comprehending the Phantom Sound song. On the other side, young Master Xiao Yao and the other disciples were also attacking with all their strength. Young Master Xiao Yao's eyes flashed. He was an early Saint King. With his strength, it wasn't a problem to control saint-level demon beasts. However, it was more troublesome to control demon beasts of the same level. With his current strength, he could only control 3 at most. Moreover, this was only suppression. It wasn't control. If he wanted to control a demon beast of the same level, he might not even be able to do it. If demon beasts were so easy to control, then Shanghai City would have become the #1 city in the world. After suppressing 3 Saint King level demon beasts, young Master Xiao Yao heaved a sigh of relief when he saw that the sky had turned dark. He smiled happily. With his results, he was definitely first. He prepared to return. On the way back, he received a message from Xiao Yunshu. She said that she had something to do and that she would leave. As for the results of the competition, young Master Xiao Yao would decide it himself. Then, he would report the results to her. Young Master Xiao Yao was stunned. He didn't know what made Yunshu leave. However, he didn't care. He returned first and waited. The demon beast behind him was caught by him. It was inside the demon beast bag. This was given to them by Xiao Yunshu. It could be used to store demon beasts. Not long after, the disciples returned one after another and handed over their demon beast bags. Lin Xian had also returned and tossed a demonic beast pouch to the other party. Someone asked where Fairy Yunshu was. Young Master Xiao Yao said that she had something to do and left first. I will take charge of the following matters. Your demon beast bags are already with me. When I return, I will pass them to Xiao Yunshu. Now, return. Everyone returned. After young Master Xiao Yao returned, he couldn't wait to check the number of people. He realized that he had suppressed the best demon beasts. He thought that the first place would definitely be his. This also meant that he could participate in the Mountain Sea Beast battles with Xiao Yunshu in the future. However, when he saw that there were 10 Saint King level demon beasts in Lin Xian's demon beast bag, he was stunned. Damn it, how was this possible? This fellow actually obtained the stone. How did he do it? He was really shocked. It was more than 3 times his. Chapter 45-67. Young Master Xiao Yao didn't know that this was because Lin Xian wanted to keep a low profile and didn't want to show too much strength. That was why he suppressed 10 beasts. Otherwise, the number would probably scare the other party to death. After all, with Lin Xian's current strength, even the peak of the Saint King stage didn't know about his opponent. Perhaps only a late-stage Saint King could give him pressure. Therefore, these early-stage Saint King beasts were really not a challenge. To young Master Xiao Yao, it was not ordinary. Young Master Xiao Yao's eyes were red. He took a deep breath and gritted his teeth. He made a decision in his heart. He decided to exchange with Lin Xian. Originally, Lin Xian's name was written on the beast bag. He used his soul to erase it and wrote his own name. Then, he walked towards Fairy Yunshu's palace. Then, he took the beast bag. Xiao Yunshu was a little depressed when she returned. She had been waiting in the 100,000 mountains. About 2 hours later, she noticed that there were some strange movements. So, she went to search. She saw a small beast. Although it was weak, its bloodline was very powerful. It made her happy. She was ready to chase after it. She flew all the way, but in the end, this little guy escaped. She returned without any success and was sullen. She casually looked at the beast bags. The number of beasts inside couldn't be said to be bad, but it wasn't enough to satisfy her. However, when she saw a beast bag, her eyes suddenly lit up. She carefully found that there were 10 beasts inside. And they were all early-stage Saint King. To be able to suppress 10 such beasts in a day, one could imagine that it was very strong. After all, the 100,000 mountains was very big, and these Saint King level beasts were all strong. They would have their own territory. It was not easy to find it in a day. Not to mention suppressing them. It was normal if she was given more time, but to do it in a day, it really surprised her. She looked at the name of the beast bag and found that it was young Master Xiao Yao's. She immediately looked forward. Did you bring this? Young Master Xiao Yao was nervous because this was Lin Xian's. At this moment, he gritted his teeth and said, "Yes, this is mine. I was lucky today, so I found a few more beasts and suppressed them." "Very good." The corners of Yun Shu's mouth curled up into a smile. Seemed like the strength of this young Mr. Xiao Yao was even stronger than she had imagined. With proper training, he might be able to become her helper. After all, the Mountain Sea Colosseum was about to begin. She was in dire need of a helper. Then, she saw Lin Xian. Lin Xian's demonic beast pouch had 3 Saint King-class demonic beasts, which were not bad. However, they were still lacking when compared to young Master Xiao Yao's. Shaking his head, he ignored him. Perhaps this fellow only had a slightly stronger physique. He was probably still lacking in other aspects. Next up, she would focus her attention on this Mr. Xiao Yao. Satisfied, young Master Xiao Yao left. "That's great." After that, he went back to announce the names of the sections. When Lin Xian found out that the first place was actually young Master Xiao Yao, he wasn't surprised at all. That was because he felt that he was keeping a low profile and had no intention of getting first place. However, when he saw that young Mr. Xiao Yao had suppressed 10 monstrous beasts while he only had 3, he frowned. The situation had changed. He had suppressed 10 monstrous beasts, so how did it become young Master Xiao Yao's? He looked at the other party and quickly understood that the other party had made a move in the dark. His lips curled into a cold smile. Young Master Xiao Yao naturally saw this scene as well. His face sank as he walked over. "Kid, you have offended Fairy Yun Shu previously. I hope that you can keep a low profile and not cause trouble for me. Otherwise, I will chase you out." Obviously, this was a warning. Lin Xian looked at the other party with a smile that didn't look like a smile. He didn't see the other party as an opponent at all. That was because the other party wasn't qualified at all. He said calmly, "Some things could be hidden for a while, but not forever. You don't understand this theory, but I can teach you." After saying that, Lin Xian turned around and left. Young Master Xiao Yao's face turned green. Damn it, the other party's tone didn't sound like someone of the same generation conversing. It was as if his elder was educating him. What right did the other party have to look down on him? He was furious. Next, Lin Xian continued to comprehend the phantom melody. Moreover, he decided to go out and test it out personally. He left Shao Mansion, left Shanghai City, and came to the 100,000 Mountains again. Previously, he only had 1 day, so he stayed outside the 100,000 Mountains. This time, he was about to enter deeper. The aura inside was very dangerous. There were too many beast saints outside. Lin Xian could feel a terrifying aura permeating the air. Buzz buzz buzz. Feeling that the distance was about right, Lin Xian stopped and looked around. Suddenly, the tree under his feet stood up abruptly. The branches of the tree turned into chains and swept toward him. Lin Xian let out a cold snort and slammed the chains away with his palm. He looked down from the sky and frowned. The tree he was originally on had turned into a giant. Not only him, but the entire forest shook and turned into tree giants. These were all monsters, and it was a group of monsters. There were too many of them, and the leader was at the Saint King stage. In addition, there were more than a dozen early-stage Saint Kings and countless Saint Venerables. These tree giants roared together, and a terrifying power swept in all directions. Lin Xian also frowned. As expected of monsters, they lived here and could attack at any time. If an ordinary Saint King came here, he would definitely die. Even a Saint King stage expert would have a hard time surviving in this place. Unfortunately, Lin Xian's strength was not something these monsters could imagine. Buzz. A tree giant rushed over. It was a peach tree, and its branches were drawn into peachwood swords. It kept flashing with a biting cold aura. The sword shadow passed through, and Lin Xian was surprised. Saint kings of the same level were probably not a match for it. Boom! Flames burst out from his body, and the 9 yang divine fire quickly rushed out. These were all monsters of the wood element, and they were very afraid of fire. Sure enough, as soon as the flames appeared, thousands of tree giants quickly retreated and defended. The tree giant roared to the sky, and with a wave of its hand, an endless storm swept in all directions. It resisted. The 9 yang divine fire pierced through everything and directly enveloped it. The tree giant roared, and half of its body was ignited. Its body cracked open, and it quickly retreated. The other monsters also retreated. This human was too strong, and he was much stronger than they thought. Although they outnumbered him by 1,000 times, they could not defeat him at all. The flames were fatal to them. These tree giants quickly fled. Want to run? Lin Xian sneered and flew up. He used the Phantom Sound Song. The Phantom Sound Song required a powerful saint tool, such as Xiao Yunshu's Jade Flute, which was a powerful saint tool. Lin Xian did not have such a saint tool, and he did not need it. He directly let out a dragon roar. Chapter 45-68. Thousands of tree giants were affected. They roared and swept in all directions. The ground cracked as if it was the end of the world. At this moment, the leader that had been ignited by the divine fire charged over again. It was an old locust tree. At this moment, its broken body had already healed. Wood-type trees had very strong vitality. A long spear appeared in his hand and he charged over. The spear pierced through everlasting wind and cloud. The spear shot out like a dragon. This tree giant was extremely powerful. The attack landed on Lin Xian's body. Lin Xian's divine body swayed, and the surrounding void collapsed. In the next moment, he turned his head and looked at the tree demon. The tree demon was terrified. How was this possible? His full-powered attack didn't break through the other party's physique. What kind of defense was that? He was so scared that he turned around and fled. The surrounding tree demons fled even faster. Lin Xian waved his hand and covered the sky and earth, enveloping the tree demon. In the next moment, the golden light in his eyes spun and formed a special pattern. The tree demon's soul was attacked and he roared crazily. He let out a roar. Damn it! He wanted to resist, but how could he be a match for the heavenly secret divine eyes? Soon, he was controlled. The spear in his hand disappeared, and he knelt on one knee. Greetings, Lord. Very good. Lin Xian smiled and said, control the other beasts. He gave the order. The locust tree demon walked out and roared. The surrounding 1,000-eyed beasts all stopped. Had their leader already submitted to him? These tree giants didn't escape but stopped. Lin Xian looked at the locust tree giant and asked if there were any other powerful beasts around. The locust tree giant pointed into the distance and said. There was something even more terrifying there. The ice fire swan. In front of them was a land of ice and fire. Half of it was ice, and the other half was fire. There was a powerful beast called the ice fire swan. One side of its wings was fire, and the other side was ice. The entire territory was formed by it. At this moment, it spread its wings and flew. Monstrous flames and storms swept out, attacking the humans in front of it. In front of it was a woman in white. She looked like a fairy of the 9 heavens. There was also a beast beside her that let out a roar. Both sides were resisting. The woman had a jade flute in her hand. A terrifying heavenly melody flew out from the jade flute. The three mutated beasts raised their heads and roared. Their terrifying auras swept out in all directions, clashing with the ice and fire. The ice-fire swan let out a long cry, causing the weather to change. Endless ice appeared in front of him, covering heaven and earth. Those hailstones were like mountains, falling from the sky, piercing through heaven and earth. The terrifying flames turned into divine swords that swept across the area. As the three exotic beasts retreated, the white-clothed lady's expression became extremely grave. She did not expect the ice-fire swan to be so powerful. Previously, she had received news of this place and was prepared to come over. Originally, she was well prepared, but now it seemed that she had miscalculated. The ice-fire swan must have made a breakthrough not long ago. Its strength was stronger than he had imagined. It seemed that he had to go back and make preparations. The white-clothed woman wanted to leave, but the ice and fire that filled the sky condensed into a barrier cage. The ice-fire swan sneered. "Since you're here, don't leave." Although it didn't recognize the woman in white, it knew that she was from the Beast Tamer clan from the Song of Hallucination. He had once suppressed many of his subordinates, so how could he possibly let him go? The laws of ice and fire gathered and swept out in all directions. Xiao Shiyu's expression was grave. She felt a huge impact, and her face turned pale. At this moment, an exotic beast beside her was frozen by the ice, and then burned to ashes by the flames. Not good. Xiao Shiyu quickly retreated, and the Song of Hallucination was performed to the extreme. While controlling the remaining two exotic beasts to resist, at the same time, the terrifying heavenly sound also charged towards the ice-fire swan, trying to interfere with the other party's soul. The ice-fire swan snorted coldly. A metal fragment flew out from his body. That metal fragment was covered with cracks, and one could vaguely see that it was a fragment of a mirror. At this moment, it was protecting its soul. All the sound was blocked by this metal fragment. Damn it, it was a sacred weapon for soul defense. Xiao Shiyu's face turned pale. The other party even had such a thing. This was something that I found with great difficulty, for you beast tamers from hell. So today, you can die. The ice-fire swan's huge body rushed over. Its pair of sharp claws were like dragons of ice and fire, shattering everything. Xiao Shiyu quickly retreated. The two exotic beasts in front of her were hit, and their bodies split open, turning into a bloody mist. Not good. At this moment of crisis, Xiao Shiyu once again activated the Song of Hallucination. Endless vines spread around her body, forming armor and shields to resist. After this attack, she was sent flying, crashing into several mountains. The vines around her also split open, turned into ashes, and fell. Many cracks appeared on her body, but at least she was still alive. She was still alive. As expected of a beast tamer family, there were many beasts around her. But no matter how many there are, you won't be able to walk out today. The ice-fire swan spread its wings and once again condensed the laws of heaven and earth. This attack was definitely going to kill this human in front of it. Xiao Shiyu's eyes were filled with despair. The purple vine had already been shattered. This was an extremely strong defensive beast, and it was her trump card. Now that she couldn't even defend against it, she probably had nothing to defend against. No matter how many beasts she took out, she wouldn't be able to block this ice-fire swan. Because this ice-fire swan was a late-stage Saint King. Go to hell. The laws of ice and fire flew over. At this moment of crisis, a golden figure descended from the sky and punched into the void. It was like thousands of suns blooming with light, blocking the laws of ice and fire. At the same time, a sword flew out, broke the barrier, and quickly left with Xiao Shiyu. You want to leave. The ice-fire swan roared. How could it allow the other party to escape? It spread its wings and quickly chased after her. Xiao Shiyu was stunned. Was she saved by someone? Who was it? She looked to the side. It was a figure covered in golden flames, like a sun god of war. It was this person who saved her. Xiao Shiyu couldn't believe it. How strong was this physique? This person was none other than Lin Xian. Lin Xian learned from the locust tree giant that there was an even more terrifying beast ahead. He was ready to go. When he arrived, he saw a huge ice and fire barrier sweeping across the area. An ice-fire swan was attacking a human woman. Lin Xian could sense that the human woman was using the hallucinatory melody, which meant that the other party was from the Shao clan. So Lin Xian made a move and saved the other party. He didn't expect that the ice-fire swan didn't retreat but continued to chase after them. Xiao Shiyu said, "The beast behind us is very strong. We have to hurry up. When we reach Shanghai City, we'll be safe." As soon as she finished speaking, she felt the ice-fire swan behind them suddenly increase its speed and gather energy. Its speed doubled, and it reached them in an instant. Chapter 45-69. Not good. Xiao Shiyu's face was pale, but Lin Xian said, "You retreat first." After saying that, he looked up at the sky and condensed his palms. He used the Tai Chi diagram to attack the sky. The huge yin and yang aura kept spinning. It collided with the opponent's ice and fire claws. Four laws instantly erupted. The surrounding world kept shattering. After one attack, Lin Xian retreated with a cold expression. The ice and fire swan in the sky was also blocked. Despicable human. He stared at Lin Xian. He couldn't believe that this kid, who was only at the early stage of the Saint King realm, could fight against him. The laws of yin and yang, who are you? He could feel that Lin Xian was not from the beast-taming clan. Xiao Shiyu was also stunned. This young man was so powerful. Great, they were saved. Lin Xian looked at the other party and said coldly, "You can't keep the two of us here today. Do you still want to continue fighting? Ant-human, you dare to question my strength?" The ice and fire swan was furious. Lin Xian sneered, "You can try." A lot of sword energy emerged from his body, and a sword shadow appeared in his hand. The biting cold aura could destroy the 9 heavens. The ice and fire swan felt his hair stand on end. It was a fatal crisis. He couldn't believe it. This human could threaten him. "You are lucky." He spread his wings and flew away, escaping from here. They were saved. Xiao Shiyu heaved a sigh of relief. Lin Xian put away the sword energy that filled the sky, turned around and asked, "Are you okay?" Xiao Shiyu shook her head. She was injured, but it wasn't fatal. She swallowed the pill and asked, "Thank you for saving me. How should I address you?" "And how should I address you?" Lin Xian asked with a smile. "My name is Xiao Shiyu, a disciple of the Shao clan. I will definitely repay you for saving my life this time. Please follow me back to the Shao clan. I will definitely treat you with respect." Lin Xian was surprised. "You are Xiao Shiyu." He was really surprised. He wanted to find Xiao Shiyu before, but he was told that she was in seclusion and didn't want to stay. So he could only stay with Xiao Yunshu for the time being. However, he did not expect to meet Xiao Shiyu on this hunting trip. It was really fate. "You know me." Xiao Shiyu was stunned, and a trace of doubt appeared on her face. Because she didn't know Lin Xian at all. Lin Xian smiled. He had just joined the Shao clan recently and had become a sect. Naturally, he had heard of your name. "All right, let's go." The two of them rose into the air and returned together. After entering the Xiao mansion, Xiao Xiu left, but she remembered the name Lin Xian deeply. Lin Xian, on the other hand, was preparing to return to the mountain peak to continue comprehending and cultivating. The hunt this time had given him some insights. The Tianji divine eyes were very powerful and could control demonic beasts in the middle stage of the Saint King realm. He had just started cultivating the melody of phantasmal sound, but he had already discovered its magical effects. Currently, the heavenly secret god eyes was very effective in controlling a single demonic beast. As for the hallucinatory sound song, it was suitable for group attacks. Facing thousands of demonic beasts, Lin Xian's phantom melody was much more powerful. Of course, he could only use illusions to affect the souls of these demonic beasts. He couldn't control them instantly. Controlling thousands of Saint King realm demonic beasts in an instant was probably something that only a few people in Shanghai City could do. On the other side, Xiao Yunchu's face was cold. She had gone out again during this period of time to search for that demonic beast. However, she still couldn't find it. She was very unhappy and wanted to find someone to vent her anger. The first thing she thought of was Lin Xian. She wanted to torture Lin Xian. However, she couldn't find him. She called Xiao Yao over and asked him. After asking the guards of the Xiao clan, she found out that this guy had gone out by himself. Damn it, as my disciple, he didn't even inform me when he went out. Xiao Yunshu gritted her teeth. When he comes back, I will definitely teach him a lesson. Xiao Yao was also gritting his teeth. If he could use this opportunity to chase this guy out of the Xiao clan, it would definitely be a good thing. Therefore, he ordered the other sects to keep a close eye on that guy and inform him immediately when he returned. Finally, they saw Lin Xian return and immediately reported to Xiao Yao. Xiao Yao told Xiao Yunshu. Xiao Yunshu sneered. She was holding a staff in her hand. Let's see how I will deal with him today. She sat on the jade white lion and quickly flew over. When she arrived near the mountain peak, she stared at Lin Xian. Kid, you have some guts. Since you dared to sneak out, let's see how I will punish you today. As she spoke, she waved her hand and the staff fell. Boom! Several mountain peaks were instantly turned into rubble. Lin Xian frowned and grabbed the staff. His face sank. You dare to attack me? Xiao Yunshu was furious. A mere sect dares to teach me a lesson? Now you are obediently accepting your punishment. Boom! Lin Xian directly grabbed the staff and broke it in half. He threw it on the ground and sneered. You should know that I only came here to continue living in the Xiao clan. I won't listen to your orders. You! Xiao Yunshu was so angry that she was about to cry. The other party had actually broken her magic staff. It was a gift from her grandfather for her birthday. She used it very skillfully. At the same time, she was shocked. She knew the power of this staff. A sage king could not destroy it. However, the other party did it easily. What kind of power was this? Therefore, she was shocked and angry. She was so scared that she did not dare to attack, but she was also mad. Men, take him down! Xiao Yunshu roared. Young Master Xiao Yao took the opportunity to lead the other sects over. More than 10 sects surrounded Lin Xian. At the same time, many strange beasts flew out, ready to attack. The situation could be said to be extremely dangerous. When the surrounding people saw this scene, they also watched from afar. Exclamations sounded. Someone actually dared to provoke Fairy Xiao Yunshu. He was unlucky. That was for sure. Xiao Yunshu was the apple of everyone's eye. Who dared to provoke her? Xiao Yunshu's status and talent were top-notch. Coupled with the princess's temper, it could be said that no one in the Xiao clan dared to provoke her. Should they attack? Lin Xian snorted. These people together were not enough. Previously, he kept a low profile because he wanted to stay in the Xiao clan. Now that he had met Xiao Xiyu, he had other opportunities. Therefore, he did not want to stay in the Xiao clan. Thinking of this, his face darkened. He stomped his foot, and more than 10 mountains below shattered. The flames on Lin Xian's body became more and more fierce. He was about to attack. At this time, a voice came from afar. Stop! Who dares to stop me? Xiao Yunshu snorted. At the same time, she said, Xiao Yao, attack. Xiao Yao received the order and quickly attacked. The surrounding sects and beasts also attacked. Their power covered the sky and earth, and they attacked. At this time, countless purple flowers appeared in the sky. This was violet orchid, blooming all over the 9 heavens, blocking everything, sealing everything. Xiao Yao and the beasts were all surrounded by violets. Xiao Yunshu was stunned. Violets, could it be? It was Sister Xiyu. Chapter 45-70. Sister Xiyu, you're out. Xiao Yunshu happily walked over. The person who came was Xiao Xiyu. After she came back, she immediately sent people to inquire about Lin Xian's situation. Soon, she found out and prepared to come over. When she came near, she saw a sky full of demonic beasts attacking. She knew that Lin Xian was in danger, so she immediately used the violet flower to seal everything. Sister Xiyu, don't bother. This guy is too arrogant. I have to teach him a lesson. Xiao Yunshu gritted her teeth. Xiao Xiyu shook her head. Little sister Yunshu, give me some face and stop. This young Master Lin is my benefactor. Benefactor? Xiao Yunshu was stunned. Young Master Xiao Yao and the others were also stunned. What's going on? Xiao Xiyu waved her hand and the violet flower disappeared, allowing everyone to move again. She then walked forward and said, Young Master Lin, I'm sorry. Did I hurt you? No. Lin Xian shook his head. Even if Xiao Xiyu didn't attack, these people couldn't hurt him. Heavens, what's going on? The people from the surrounding sects were all stunned. Wasn't the legendary Xiao Xiyu an ice beauty? She didn't care about anyone. Why was she so friendly to Lin Xian? Even Xiao Yunshu and you were stunned. Was she dreaming? Sister Xiyu, you weren't tricked by this guy, were you? Xiao Yunshu didn't believe it. Xiao Xiyu said, all right, stop fooling around. Is there some misunderstanding between you and young Master Lin? I'm lacking a helper. Why don't you give him to me? As soon as these words came out, the surrounding people were even more stunned. Their eyes instantly turned red. Xiao Yunshu was also a pearl, but compared to Xiao Xiyu, she was still a little lacking. Xiao Xiyu's identity was a true goddess, an existence that countless people looked up to. However, Xiao Xiyu didn't want to join the sect, so they couldn't do anything. They didn't expect that she would personally ask for help today. Xiao Yunshu gritted her teeth and glared at Lin Xian. Where did this guy get such good luck? However, since Xiao Xiyu had spoken, she couldn't say anything. She could only remind her sister Xiyu that she had to be careful of what this guy was trying to say to deceive her. If he dares to have any bad thoughts, tell me and I will personally suppress him. All right, I got it. Xiao Xiyu smiled and looked at Lin Xian. Young Master Lin, please. Under the envious gazes of the crowd, Lin Xian and Xiao Xiyu left. Then, they went to Xiao Xiyu's residence. Xiao Shiyu's mansion was even more magnificent. Xiao Transport's mansion was even more magnificent. He could be said to be the #1 genius of the Xiao clan. After entering her mansion, Lin Xian discovered that there were demon beasts everywhere. Roar! A roar came from the front, shaking heaven and earth. There was also the sound of chains. Xiao Shiyu frowned. She quickly rushed over. Lin Xian looked over as well. After flying past the pavilions, he arrived at the back of the mountain. Only then did he realize that there was a demonic beast sealed within a formation and enchantment. It was a demonic ape. It was very tall and black flames were burning on its body. Its arms were dancing, and the sky was falling. Fortunately, he had the chains of law and the enchantment. Otherwise, he would have escaped long ago. The demonic beast's cultivation was at the Saint King stage, and it was extremely violent. When Xiao Shiyu arrived, her face changed. Not good, this guy went crazy again. She quickly took out her jade flute and used the phantom shadow. The terrifying sound of heaven flew forward and controlled it. The black fire demonic ape roared at the sky, letting out an extremely unwilling roar as it fought back. Xiao Shiyu used the phantom sound song while activating the enchantment. Finally, Xiao Shiyu suppressed the demonic ape again. She heaved a sigh of relief. Lin Xian's eyes flickered as he watched from behind. The black fire demonic ape was very powerful. It seemed that it was only suppressed temporarily and had not been tamed yet. Young Master Lin, I have caught this guy for a long time. However, it would be difficult to tame him. This way, please. She brought Lin Xian to a palace nearby. Lin Xian smiled. Since you've invited me over, I'll be your assistant. Your injuries haven't healed yet, right? Why don't you recuperate? After you recuperate, I will help you tame this guy. Young Master Lin, I know you are powerful and can fight against the Ice Fire Swan. However, suppressing a demonic beast and controlling it were two different things. Indeed, suppressing it was easy, but taming it was too difficult. It was 10 times more difficult. Lin Xian smiled. Don't worry, other than my physique being stronger, I also know my techniques. Maybe I can help you. Really? Xiao Shiyu was overjoyed. That's great. Just like that, she began to go into seclusion. Half a month later, she came out of seclusion. Her injuries had already healed. Lin Xian also went to observe the black fire demonic ape every day. He found some flaws in the black fire demonic ape. Then, he had a plan in his heart. When Xiao Shiyu arrived, he told her about his plan and told her about it. This black fire demonic ape is extremely violent and arrogant. It will definitely not be convinced if it is suppressed. We can magnify its state infinitely. Let it go completely crazy. When it goes crazy to the extreme, its aura will definitely drop. That will be the time for you to strike. After Lin Xian finished speaking, Xiao Shiyu also nodded. Of course, she knew that. However, she couldn't have done it alone. Fortunately, Lin Xian had told her to leave the front to him and take charge of the rear. Although Xiao Shiyu knew that Lin Xian was powerful, she was still worried. After all, she was the real beast-taming genius and the #1 genius in the family. If she couldn't do it, could he do it? The two of them came to the back mountain again. The black fire demonic ape raised its huge head. When it saw Xiao Shiyu coming again, a cold look appeared in its eyes. The next moment, it stood up again and roared at the sky. Lin Xian took a deep breath and said, "It has begun." Xiao Shiyu nodded and retreated, ready to wait. Lin Xian, on the other hand, walked away. Seeing that it wasn't Xiao Shiyu but another unfamiliar human walking over, the black fire demonic ape snorted and spat out flames. The terrifying flames shrouded Lin Xian. A cold smile appeared in his eyes. Such an ant could be killed by a flame. But soon, it was stunned. It realized that Lin Xian had walked out of the flames. Not only that, Lin Xian walked into the formation. He threw a punch at it. With a crack, one of its arms was broken. Roar! The black fire demonic ape was completely enraged and went crazy. An ant, a human, dared to hurt it. It couldn't stand it. It roared at the sky and the sound swept in all directions. The whole world was shaking. The people in the Shao clan were terrified. What happened? Even the elders' eyes lit up and looked into the distance. It was Xiao Shiyu's residence. It seemed that she was still subduing the demonic ape. Chapter 45-71. The black fire demonic ape was extremely violent. With her current strength, it was still too much for her. The elders shook their heads slightly. Although the sound was terrifying, they were not worried. With their Shao manners array formation and chains, these beasts could not escape. However, this failure might be a blow to Xiao Shiyu. Xiao Shiyu, who was at the front, was also stunned. She knew that Lin Xian was very strong, but she did not expect Lin Xian to be so bold as to walk into the array formation. He even injured the black fire demonic ape. The black fire demonic ape's demonic aura was overwhelming. Its gaze was like a divine lamp, as if it was going to swallow the world. It was like a demon god. However, Lin Xian was not afraid in front of such a huge monster. In fact, there was an extremely cold radiance in his eyes. Heavenly secret divine eyes. He did not control it. Instead, he used an illusion to magnify the other party's violence. The black fire demonic ape seemed to have fallen into a frenzy. It roared towards the sky and attacked continuously. But Lin Xian stood there, unmoved from beginning to end. This situation lasted for a month. After a month, the black fire demonic ape's aura weakened. Lin Xian stepped back and said, "That's enough." Behind him, Xiao Shiyu had been waiting for a long time. She used the phantom song to control it. The musical notes jumped out and entered the other party's soul. The black fire demonic ape resisted frantically. However, a month of roaring and attacking had already depleted its energy. It was no match for the soul attack at this moment. 5 days later, it was lying on the ground. It was controlled. Seeing the black fire demonic ape that had surrendered, Xiao Shiyu could not believe it. She had brought the black fire demonic ape back 3 years ago. For the past 3 years, she had come every month to control it and try to subdue it. However, she failed every time. This made her feel hopeless. She was afraid that without a breakthrough in her strength and soul, it would be impossible to subdue it. However, she did not expect that 3 years later, with the help of Lin Xian, she would finally succeed. That's great. Young Master Lin, thank you so much. Lin Xian smiled. I only helped a little. The real control is still your work. It's all thanks to the two of us. Xiao Shiyu smiled beautifully. Greetings, Master. The black fire demonic ape's voice rang out like thunder. When the people of the Shao clan heard this, they were all stunned. Oh my heavens, a demonic beast had been subdued, and it was a black fire demonic ape. It couldn't be, right? Wasn't that brought back by Xiao Shiyu 3 years ago? It was extremely terrifying and violent. Perhaps even the elders might not be able to subdue it. This Xiao Shiyu actually succeeded. Countless cries of alarm sounded. The young disciples were shaken, not daring to believe this. Xiao Yunshu was also surprised when she heard the news. Sister Shiyu has already become so powerful. Although they were both pearls, it was obvious that she was far behind. The elders of the Xiao clan were even more shocked. They soared into the sky and flew towards the back of the mountain. Drizzle, did you really succeed? When the elders saw the scene below, they were pleasantly surprised. Xiao Shiyu raised her head and looked over. She then greeted, "Greetings, elders." He had indeed succeeded. Hearing this, the elders raised their heads and laughed. Good, this is really too good. Our Xiao clan's #1 genius is indeed unparalleled. These people were very happy. At this moment, a middle-aged man walked over. He had a tiger's gait and a dragon's aura. He nodded slightly. Indeed, not bad. With your current cultivation, you were able to subdue the black fire demonic ape. This is really out of my expectations. It seems like you are not far from becoming a two-spirit beast tamer Saint Master. Thank you for your praise, uncle. This time, I was just lucky. Xiao Shiyu said calmly. The middle-aged man said, "No, you are the #1 genius of the Xiao clan. You do have a chance to become a two-spirit beast tamer Saint Master." Beast tamers were also divided into many levels. Xiao Shiyu was a one-spirit beast tamer Saint Master. Although it was only one spirit, her status was already extremely terrifying. One must know that she was a Saint Master. She was only from the younger generation, and there were very few in the younger generation who could obtain this status. Even Xiao Yunshu did not have this qualification. Hence, Xiao Shiyu was undoubtedly the #1 genius of the Xiao clan. At this moment, the middle-aged man said. Although that was the case. However, there were many experts and geniuses in Shanghai City. For example, Qing Chen from the Qing clan. He was the #1 genius of the Qing clan. Currently, he was already a two-spirit beast tamer Saint Master. It was not easy to defeat him. If you can walk together with him, you will have an incomparable advantage in the upcoming Shanghai beast fighting competition. You have to think about it carefully. Hearing these words, Xiao Shiyu's face immediately sank. The joy that she had obtained was gone. She said coldly. The Shanghai beast fighting competition was carried out by the clan. I am not from the same clan as him. Do you want me to be his disciple? Or do you want him to be my disciple? The middle-aged man laughed. Xiao Shiyu. You have to be more open-minded. Apart from being his disciple, are there no other possibilities? If you can marry him, then you will be a member of the Qing clan. At that time, the two of you can naturally fight together. I have said this before. Don't mention it anymore. Don't you remember? Xiao Shiyu suddenly raised her head and shouted coldly. You are too young and do not know. I am doing this for your own good. This Qing Chen is the #1 genius of the Qing clan. He is also the son of the head of the Qing clan. In the future, he will be able to control the entire Qing clan. He is the most dazzling genius of Shanghai City. Countless girls from the big clans want to marry him. If you can marry him, then it will be your honor. Now that you have a chance, how can you not cherish it? Xiao Shiyu laughed coldly. Oh, such an honor. Uncle is willing to give it to me. Uncle, you have a daughter too, right? Why don't you let your daughter accept this supreme honor? The middle-aged man's face sank. Xiao Shiyu, is this the attitude you should have when speaking to your elders? Xiao Shiyu said, are you treating me as your junior? Is there anyone who would push a junior into a fire pit? Although Qing Chen is talented, don't you know what kind of person he is? How many heavenly beauties had been harmed by him? You actually want me to marry such a person? If you are not trying to kill me, what are you trying to do? You don't even treat me as a junior of the Shao clan. Why should I treat you as my senior? If you want to work together with the Qin clan, then marry your daughter over. Don't have any ideas about me. A cold voice sounded, infuriating the middle-aged man. His face turned cold, and the people around him looked awkward. Lin Xian squinted his eyes. He did not expect Shao Shiyu to have such a problem. It seemed like the Shao clan and the Qin clan were going to work together. However, one person had to marry, and this person was Shao Shiyu. Chapter 45-72. Alright, all of you shut up. It's not appropriate to make a ruckus here. An old voice could be heard. A white crane descended from the sky with an old man on its back. The old man sat cross-legged. His eyes shone with a powerful soul. This person was terrifying. Lin Xian was shocked. The people around also exclaimed. Greetings, Third Elder. Shao Shiyu also said, Third Elder, it's not that I don't want to follow the rules, but some people are too much. The Third Elder sighed. The Green Clan's power in Shanghai City has always been stronger than the Shao clan. Don't forget. They are working with the Thousand Transformations Gate. For the past 1,000 years, they have been providing beasts to the Thousand Transformations Gate. The relationship between the two is extraordinary. Now that they have made such a request, we can only agree. If we resist, they might anger the Green Clan. If they want to take action, the Shao clan will not be able to resist. Shao Shiyu said coldly, so you chose me. Have you asked for my opinion? The Third Elder sighed. He said, as a member of the Shao clan, you have to think for the clan sometimes. However, we will give you a chance. If you can get into the top 10 in the Mountain Sea battles, we will not force you. Alright, since Third Elder said so, it's a deal. Just you wait, I will get into the top 10. Shiyu, you are too naive. Although you are the top genius of the Shao clan, there are many beast tamers in the Mountain Sea battles. However, there were many beast tamers participating in the Mountain Sea beast fights. Not only were there geniuses, but there were also other experts. It is basically impossible for you to get into the top 10. Uncle, you don't have to worry about me. Shao Shiyu said coldly. I want to see how you can get into the top 10. The middle-aged man sneered and turned to leave. The Third Elder looked at Shao Shiyu and sighed. He said, you can bring helpers for the Mountain Sea battles. What kind of beast tamer do you need? I will use the clan's power to help you find one. You will be satisfied. They naturally hoped that Shao Shiyu would shine in the Mountain Sea battles. That would be good for the Shao clan. Shao Shiyu said, I have my own way. Thank you, Third Elder, for your concern. The old man sighed again and shook his head. Then he left. Although she wanted to help Shao Shiyu, no matter how hard she tried, it would be extremely difficult for her to get into the top 10. If it was the next time, perhaps Shao Shiyu would have a chance. But this time, it was too difficult. It was impossible. The Green Clan would not give Shao Shiyu another chance. The elders had all left, and the back mountain was quiet again. Shao Shiyu's face was cold, and she was clenching her teeth so hard that they were about to shatter. Detestable, this was really too detestable. Were these people suppressing her like this? First, they suppressed her mother, and now they're suppressing her. However, she was unwilling to give up. She had to get into the top 10. That way, the Mountain Sea Palace would take a liking to her. At that time, she could join the Mountain Sea Palace. Even the Shao clan and the Green Clan didn't dare to order him around. At this moment, Lin Xian walked up and said, Don't worry, I'll help you enter the top 10. Thank you. Xiao Shiyu was extremely grateful. You don't have to thank me. Lin Xian shook his head. Then, he said in his heart, if you want to thank someone, thank your father. Young Master Lin, I'm very grateful to you. However, it's too difficult to get into the top 10. Even I don't have much confidence. Lin Xian said, how would you know if you don't try? Fate is in your own hands, and it doesn't belong to anyone else. Xiao Shiyu's body trembled. To be honest, she didn't have much confidence. However, looking at Lin Xian's confident gaze, she felt her soul tremble. What kind of strength and confidence was this? What had this young man experienced in the past? Taking a deep breath, Xiao Shiyu also said, all right, whether I succeed or not, I'll do my best. I won't let myself regret it. That's right, this is the #1 genius of the Xiao clan. Lin Xian smiled. Then, he asked, oh right, what's the Green clan? Is the Thousand Transformation sect powerful? There are many big clans in Shanghai City, and they are considered the top clans. Their strength and foundation are much stronger than the Xiao clan. As for the Thousand Transformation sect, it's not in Shanghai City. It's a sect nearby, and its strength is terrifying. For the past 1,000 years, all the beasts in the Thousand Transformation sect were taken care of by the Green clan. Hence, the Green clan has a special position in Shanghai City. Not only the Green clan, but the other clans and sects also had connections. For example, the Xiao clan was in charge of managing the beasts for a sect. After knowing the situation, Lin Xian nodded. He said, don't worry, I'll help you to the best of my ability. Next, the two of them started to train together. Xiao Shiyu had already decided to let Lin Xian be her helper. They would participate in the Mountain Sea Beast battles together. A month later, Xiao Shiyu was elated. During this month, their teamwork was getting better and better. One must know that she was using the Phantom Sound song. Normal people would have to dodge it carefully before they could coordinate with her. But as soon as Lin Xian came up, he was able to merge perfectly with the hallucinatory melody, which surprised her. Naturally, she didn't know that Lin Xian had already cultivated the Phantom Sound song in advance, which was why he could do it so easily. On this day, Xiao Shiyu found Lin Xian and told him her thoughts. She was going to go out and suppress another beast and bring it back to control it. Of course, her target should be similar to the Black Fire Demon Ape. It might even be stronger. After all, he also wanted to break through to become a two-spirit beast tamer Saint Master. This way, he would have a greater chance. Lin Xian nodded and asked, are we still going to the 100,000 mountains? Xiao Shiyu said, no, I've already been targeted by the Ice Fire Swan. The moment I enter, he will be able to sense our aura. So this time, we're going to the sea. Shanghai City relied not only on the 100,000 mountains but also on the endless sea. There were even more beasts in the sea. This time, it was their destination. Lin Xian and Xiao Shiyu left the mansion and prepared to set off. When they came outside, they saw two figures. It was Xiao Yunshu and Mr. Xiao Yao. At this moment, Mr. Xiao Yao was following beside Xiao Yunshu. He was very proud. It seemed like he had also become Xiao Yunshu's assistant. Sister Shiyu, Xiao Yunshu saw Xiao Shiyu and ran over happily. However, when she saw Lin Xian, she was surprised. Why are you still here? In her opinion, this guy wasn't too strong and definitely wouldn't be valued. She didn't expect him to be able to stay by Xiao Shiyu's side. Naturally, young Mr. Xiao Yao caught sight of this as well. Instantly, his heart was going crazy. Xiao Shiyu was an existence that even he looked up to. He didn't even dare to think about it. He didn't expect this despicable kid to stay by her side. Sister Yunshu, Xiao Shiyu also walked up. Lin Xian glanced at him and directly ignored him. Chapter 45-73. Mr. Xiao Yao gritted his teeth in anger. He did not expect Mr. Lin to have such means. He laughed coldly. Lin Xian laughed. I have means. I think your means should be greater than mine. Aren't you quite good at grafting flowers onto trees? Mr. Xiao Yao's pupils shrank as cold sweat dripped down his forehead. It seemed like Lin Xian had found out about him secretly changing the demonic beast pouch. But why didn't Lin Xian expose him directly? What did he mean by that? Yun Shu frowned. Lin Xian shrugged his shoulders and did not say anything. He believed that Mr. Xiao Yao's actions would be found out soon. Because he did not have the corresponding strength and yet he wanted to put gold on his face, he would lose badly. Sister Xiao Yu, where are you going this time? Xiao Yunshu ignored Lin Xian and asked. Xiao Shiyu said that they were going to hunt some demonic beasts. Really? I have the same idea too. Why don't we go together? Xiao Yunshu was delighted. If the two of us work together, we will definitely gain a lot. Sure. Xiao Shiyu nodded her head. Her relationship with Yun Shu was pretty good. Hence, it was not a problem for them to work together. The two of them walked in front while Lin Xian and Mr. Xiao Yao followed behind. Young Mr. Xiao Yao was extremely nervous right now. He was extremely worried right now. He did not know when Lin Xian would reveal everything that he had done. Lin Xian did not mind at all. He had never treated Xiao Yao as an opponent. This time, he was looking forward to it. He was prepared to control some demonic beasts. After all, he would have to return to Ethereal Peak in the future. At that time, he would have to rely on these demonic beasts to deal with those Grotto Heavens and Ethereal Peak. Walking out of Shao Clan, they arrived at Shanghai City. The group walked towards the city gate. At this moment, a figure descended from the sky. A terrifying soul pressure shrouded the group. Xiao Yunshu and the rest stopped and frowned. Mr. Xiao Yao looked like he was facing a great enemy. Lin Xian squinted his eyes. What a strong soul power. It seemed like he was an expert. He raised his head and looked ahead. He realized that it was a blurry figure. The aura he gave off swept across the land. Where did this expert come from? People of the Green Clan. Xiao Yunshu frowned. She noticed that the Daoist's eyes were incomparably mysterious, like two sharp blades. This was the eye of Blade of the Green Clan. Moreover, there was probably only one person in the younger generation who could cultivate to such a level. Qingchen thinking of this, she coldly snorted, and the soul in her body was like a vast ocean, sweeping through the 9 heavens. Xiao Shiyu, who was at the side, frowned. Why are you stopping us? The blurry figure at the front glanced at the group with a lightning-like gaze. His gaze then landed on Xiao Shiyu. She was indeed worthy of being called the beloved daughter of the heavens. She was indeed a peerless fairy. I'm here to inform you that after the Mountain Sea Beast trials, I will marry you. During this time, you'd better stay in the clan obediently and don't go anywhere. These words carried the meaning of an order. Xiao Shiyu's expression changed as she snorted coldly. Who do you think you are? How dare you order me around? Besides, do you really think this engagement can continue? I know that the Xiao clan has promised you something. As long as you can get into the top 10, you can resist. But unfortunately, with your strength, it's impossible for you to get into the top 10. Therefore, I advise you not to put up any unnecessary resistance. Qingchen's voice was filled with confidence. To be able to follow me is an unparalleled honor for you. After speaking, he looked at Lin Xian and young Mr. Xiao Yao and said coldly, "From today onwards, you are not allowed to have any other men around you. Even if they are battle servants, you are not allowed to have any other men around you. Change them all." After speaking, two extremely sharp beams of light shot out from his eyes, turning into two blades that slashed out. Young Mr. Xiao Yao could feel that his soul was about to be sliced into two. This was the legendary Eye of Blade. That was way too scary. He retreated quickly, dodging the attack by a hair's breadth. Lin Xian did not dodge at all. His eyes were filled with a cold glint. At this moment, Xiao Xiyu struck. She waved her hands, and the sky was filled with purple violets that formed a sealing barrier, sealing the blades in the sky. He then said, "Don't you think that you are too arrogant? I am arrogant because I have the right to be arrogant. This is a warning. The next time I see other men around you, I will send them to hell. If you see any other men around you, I will send them to hell immediately." After speaking, he turned around and disappeared. The atmosphere turned silent for a moment. Xiao Shiyu's face turned extremely solemn. She had to admit that this Qingchen was really strong. His eye technique was unparalleled. Wherever his gaze passed, it could split apart everything. Xiao Yunshu, who was beside him, gritted her teeth. This guy was too despicable. How could the family agree to such an engagement? Don't worry. No matter how the family agrees, I will not agree to it. Xiao Shiyu gritted her teeth. She then said, "Let's go quickly. This time around, we must get more beasts." After saying that, she flew forward. Young Mr. Xiao Yao sent a voice transmission to her, "Fairy Yunshu, should I continue to follow?" He was really scared now. He did not know Xiao Shiyu. This was just a chance encounter. So, he wanted to kill her. He did not dare to follow her anymore. Xiao Yunshu frowned. Why was this guy so afraid of death? He was even worse than this despicable kid beside her. She glanced at Lin Xian. Seeing that Lin Xian was calm, she followed. Xiao Yunshu gritted her teeth. "If you are afraid of death, then leave. From now on, you don't have to be my assistant anymore." After speaking, Xiao Yunshu also flew into the air. Young Mr. Xiao Yao was stunned. However, he gritted his teeth and followed. This time, he would go. However, from now on, he would definitely avoid Xiao Shiyu whenever he saw her. This kind of genius was not someone he could get close to. At the same time, he sneered. Lin Xian was definitely in danger. Lin Xian would be killed one day if he stayed by Xiao Shiyu's side. This way, his secret would not be discovered by anyone. The group of people flew quickly in Shanghai City. Finally, they left Shanghai City. Looking at the endless sea, they continued to fly. This sea was called the Black Sea. It was boundless and was even bigger than a continent. Shanghai City only relied on one part of the ocean, but the monsters and beasts within were already terrifying beyond compare. No one knew how terrifying the depths of the Black Sea were. Legend had it that the monsters in the Black Sea were emperor-level monsters. They were buried in the depths of the sea. However, the distance was too far. Not to mention them, even the great sage might not be able to fly there. When they reached the sea, Xiao Yunshu and Xiao Shiyu took out two demonic beasts. Xiao Yunshu took out a mouse. It had a pair of wings and was constantly fluttering in the air. This was a spirit-seeking mouse. It could find powerful monsters. What Xiao Shiyu took out was a black bug with red spots on it. This was also a spirit beast that could find monsters. Chapter 45-74. Lin Xian and young Master Xiao Yao waited silently. At this moment, Lin Xian frowned and looked into the distance. He could not tell. Someone seemed to be coming. Young Master Xiao Yao was stunned. This fella must be joking. Why couldn't I sense it? Xiao Yunshu stopped in front and frowned. What is this fella up to now? However, she soon saw a figure flying over from afar. And there were quite a number of them. Buzz! 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 A total of 7 figures descended from the sky and landed on the sea. Their powerful aura suppressed the entire place. The leader was actually a late-stage Saint King, which made Xiao Yunshu's expression change. Xiao Shiyu frowned. If such experts were to go against them, it would be troublesome. Young Master Xiao Yao shouted coldly. We are from the Xiao clan. What are you guys doing? Leave now. He wanted to use the reputation of the Xiao clan to scare these people away. The man looked at young Master Xiao Yao and sneered. You guys are courting death. Is the Xiao clan that powerful? Then, he took out the token in his hand. This is... Young Master Xiao Yao's eyes shrunk. Xiao Yunshu exclaimed. Myriad Transformation Sect. You guys are from the Myriad Transformation Sect. That's right. We are from the Myriad Transformation Sect. These 7 men are like gods and demons. Xiao Shiyu took a step forward. Terrifying souls emerged from her body. There were many violets around her, blooming non-stop. They covered the entire place. She asked coldly. I wonder why the fellow Taoists from the Myriad Transformation Sect are looking for us. We are here to help. Young Master Qing Qin said that no other men are allowed to be around Fairy Shiyu. Seems like someone is courting death. At this point, a wisp of piercingly cold killing intent appeared in their eyes. Young Master Xiao Yao's face changed and was filled with fear. Damn it. I didn't expect them to take action so quickly. His original plan was to wait until he returned this time before fleeing. But he didn't expect them to come knocking on his door. Lin Xian frowned. Isn't this young Master Qing Qin too arrogant? He even wants to get rid of us. Xiao Yunshu's face changed. Although she felt that young Master Xiao Yao was a coward, his strength and talent were not bad. Moreover, the Mountain Sea Colosseum would be arriving soon. She needed such talents. Therefore, he did not wish for the other party to die. She gritted her teeth and said, This is our Xiao clan's matter. Aren't you guys meddling too much? You're wrong. An expert from the Myriad Transformation Sect laughed. Fairy Wuyu will marry young Master Qing Qin sooner or later. Young Master Qing Qin has an unusual relationship with our Myriad Transformation Sect. In fact, he will soon become a member of our Myriad Transformations Gate. Therefore, this is also a matter of us Myriad Transformations. How can we not care? A cold smile appeared in the eyes of the Saint King Advanced Stage Leader. This time, young Master Qing Qin had promised to give him a late Saint King demonic beast as his mount after the mission was completed. This was a huge benefit, so how could he refuse? Moreover, killing 2 sects was no different from killing 2 ants to him, so he naturally agreed. You can try. Xiao Shiyu snorted coldly. She took out her jade flute and performed the Song of Phantom Sound. Suddenly, 3 demonic beasts appeared around her. The paper vine on their bodies formed an armor for defense. At the same time, a giant demonic ape flew out and roared. It was the black fire demonic ape that she had just tamed. The black fire demonic ape roared as soon as it appeared. Many people's faces changed when they saw its terrifying aura. What a terrifying demonic beast! Moreover, it was at the Saint King intermediate stage. They did not expect Xiao Shiyu to be so talented. Xiao Yunshu also summoned the Jade White Lion and other demonic beasts. They covered the sky. This was a beast tamer. They could summon a large number of demonic beasts in battle. They had an innate advantage. As expected, the people from the Myriad Transformation sect frowned. Especially the Black Fire demonic ape, it was a great threat to them. The leading expert from the Myriad Transformation sect said with a smile. "Don't worry, leave these demonic beasts to me. As for you guys, go and kill these two people. I will bring their heads back to young Master Qin Qin." After he finished speaking, he waved his hand and the demonic beasts in front of him were all enveloped. The Black Fire demonic ape fought back. However, it was a late-stage Saint King. It was powerful enough to fight against these demonic beasts. The other 4 men from the Myriad Transformation sect rushed forward and attacked Lin Xian and young Master Xiao Yao. "Retreat." Young Master Xiao Yao did not say a word. He took out the blazing divine eagle and flew away. Lin Xian wanted to attack at first. However, after thinking about it, he retreated as well. It was inconvenient to show off some of his strength in front of these people. It was better to wait until there was no one around. At that time, the 4 of them would know what despair was. Lin Xian's figure flashed as he chased after Mr. Xiao Yao. Young Master Xiao Yao's face turned green. He roared crazily. "Damn brat, can't you run in another direction?" He was mad. If they ran separately, he would at most face 2 experts from the Myriad Transformation sect. But now, he had to face 4 of them. The pressure was multiplied. Lin Xian smiled. With a flash, he appeared on top of the blazing godly hawk and said, "I'm here to help you." Young Master Xiao Yao was about to vomit blood. He could not wait to fight it out with the other party. However, he knew that now was not the time. He had to escape. Hence, he controlled the blazing divine eagle and turned into a stream of light. "Do you think you can escape?" Behind him, there were 4 people. They were extremely strong. One of them was a Saint King in the middle stage. The other 3 were Saint Kings in the early stages. The Saint King in the middle stage roared into the sky. His voice shook the 9 heavens as he cut off the escape route. His flaming body trembled and fell from the sky. There were already many cracks on his body. This was the difference in cultivation realms. Young Master Xiao Yao gritted his teeth. He said, "Damn it, I'm innocent. Let me go. It's this brat. He's the one who stayed by Fairy Xiao Yu's side." Young Master Xiao Yao pointed at Lin Xian and roared crazily. "Oh, is that so?" The Saint King in the middle stage blocked Lin Xian. His eyes were filled with killing intent. Since this was the case, he would make him suffer a fate worse than death. "But you? How dare you disobey the orders of young Master Qin Qin? You can go to hell as well." After saying that, he waved his hand. 2 figures charged towards young Master Xiao Yao. He then looked at Lin Xian. He wanted to take action personally. "How dare you fight with young Master Qin Qin? Be a wise man in your next life." He had an aura that could swallow mountains and rivers. The huge hand stretched across the sky for thousands of miles. It covered the sky and the earth as it pressed down. The endless void tore apart. Buzz. After a single blow, the void was reduced to nothingness. Ha ha ha. The people of Myriad Transformation sect laughed. The other party was too weak. If they wanted to kill him, they could do it with a wave of their hands. When young Master Xiao Yao saw this, his eyes turned red. Chapter 45-75. Boom. At this moment, a figure walked out of the shattered void as a cold voice boomed out. Is this your strength? You're so weak that you can't even break my defense. What? The Saint King's stage cultivator was stunned as he stared at the figure in front of him. You're not dead yet. He was shocked. The people around him were also surprised that Yi Shiwen could dodge the attack of a Saint King's stage cultivator. Good lad, you have some strength. No wonder you dare to be so arrogant. This time, you're going to die. The Saint King's stage cultivator attacked Yi Shiwen again. His palm was filled with endless law that seemed to be able to disintegrate everything. Lin Xian also made a move. He clenched his fist and turned into a golden light that flew out to fight against the Saint King's stage cultivator's palm. The Saint King's stage cultivator's eyes widened as he felt that his palm was about to shatter. Although he had the Thousand Transformation Gate's secret technique, he couldn't disintegrate Yi Shiwen's strength. Not only did his entire arm shatter, but his entire body also turned into a bloody mist. One punch, and his soul was destroyed. Blood rained down from the sky. The other 3,000 Transformation Gate cultivators were stunned, and their faces were full of horror. Dead. He was killed by one punch. Young Master Xiao Yao was so scared that he knelt on the ground. What kind of power is this? It's too heaven-defying. The other 3,000 Transformation Gate cultivators' pupils shrank, and their faces became ugly. The three of them turned around and fled. This person was too terrifying, and they were no match for him even if they joined forces. Let's call a late-stage Saint King's stage cultivator to suppress him. The 3,000 Transformation Gate cultivators flew out at an extremely fast speed, and they instantly reached the horizon. However, in the next moment, their bodies were mercilessly torn apart. A sword light flashed, and the 3,000 Transformation Gate cultivators were cut in half. Then, the soul fire floated out, and the 3,000 Transformation Gate cultivators' souls were completely destroyed. In the blink of an eye, all 4,000 Transformation Gate cultivators were killed. Only Lin Xian and the kneeling Mr. Xiao Yao were left. Young Master Xiao Yao's face was full of horror. This person was really too powerful. He had offended Yi Shiwen before, and he even wanted to drive Yi Shiwen out of the Xiao clan. Now, he was afraid. He begged young Master Lin, please don't kill him. Lin Xian. Oh. She could do anything. Fine, you said it yourself. His heavenly fate divine eyes appeared in his eyes as he looked at the other party. Then, you will become my puppet. Mr. Xiao Yao's face turned ugly. His eyes shone with a sharp radiance as he tried to defend himself. He was not willing to become a puppet. However, how could he be a match for the celestial secret divine eyes? In a flash, his eye technique was broken. The pain in his soul made him howl madly. A moment later, his gaze calmed down. He knelt on one knee and looked respectfully at Lin Xian, paying his respects to his lord. There was already an imprint in his soul. Lin Xian looked at this scene and the corners of his mouth curled up as he nodded. Although he didn't like this guy, he might be useful in the future. That was why he had this fellow stay by Xiao Yunchu's side and assist her. Let's go. Lin Xian waved his hand and brought young Mr. Xiao Yao with him as he flew forward. The battle in front was still ongoing. The black fire demon ape stood tall. As it waved its fists, the entire sea was split open. He was an opponent. A late-stage Saint King expert. Even if a few demonic beasts joined forces, they could only fight against him. They were already at a disadvantage. It was very dangerous. What should we do? Sister Xiao Shiyu. Xiao Yunchu's face turned ugly. She couldn't defeat the other party. Moreover, she didn't know if the other two had escaped. Xiao Shiyu was even more nervous. She didn't want anything to happen to Lin Xian. At that moment, two sounds of something breaking through the air could be heard from afar. They all turned their heads and were stunned. The people from Myriad Transformation sect were also stunned. They realized that the two people who had escaped earlier had returned. The two of them were still alive. What was going on? They waited for a while and realized that their men had returned. The late-stage Saint King expert's face darkened. Where were our men? Your people have already fallen. Lin Xian smiled and said. How could it be? The people from Myriad Transformation sect couldn't believe that two late-stage Saint Kings could defeat four of them. Impossible. Young Master Xiao Yao walked out and said. Of course, it wasn't us. I don't need to tell you how many demonic beasts there are in the sea. There was a terrifying sea demon. The four of you were unlucky to have been eaten by him. Right now, young Mr. Xiao Yao was already Lin Xian's puppet. Therefore, no matter what he said or did, he would have to listen to Lin Xian's orders. Impossible. The people from Myriad Transformation sect were shocked. Then how did the two of you escape? Lin Xian smiled coldly and didn't say anything. When he returned, he used his heavenly secret divine eyes to look for powerful demonic beasts. He found a powerful one. Moreover, he attacked the demonic beast. The demonic beast was already chasing him. However, he was faster. Therefore, the demonic beast was behind him. Lin Xian didn't say anything. After a while, the sea in front of them suddenly split open. The endless sea surged and a terrifying aura filled the air. An octopus roared at the sky. It flew out. It was 10,000 meters high. It swept in all directions. This scene caused the people from Myriad Transformation sect to change their expressions. Not good. A terrifying demonic beast. Moreover, in the sea, who knew how many subordinates the other party had? If they summoned tens of thousands of demonic beasts to attack, it would be troublesome. After all, the sea was the other party's territory. Damn it. Just you wait. The people from Myriad Transformation sect roared and turned to leave. That's great. Xiao Yunshu heaved a sigh of relief. Then, Xiao Shiyu also said, okay, let's go. As they retreated, they used the phantasmal melody to attack. Lin Xian said, don't leave. Don't you want to hunt demonic beasts? This one will do. What? This one. Xiao Yunshu's expression changed. This octopus was even more terrifying than the black fire demonic ape. How could they suppress it? Xiao Shiyu said, okay, let's try. Then, she rushed forward. She was crazy. Xiao Yunshu's face was pale. With her strength, she could only use soul attacks from afar. Lin Xian rushed over and fought with it. His fist directly sent the 10,000-meter-long octopus flying. The octopus roared at the sky and summoned many demonic beasts to attack. A great battle broke out. With Lin Xian's help, the octopus was suppressed. Did they really do it? Xiao Yunshu didn't dare to believe it. Xiao Shiyu was happy. This was great. After she returned this time, she could control it. If she succeeded, then she would be very close to becoming a two-soul beast tamer's sacred master. Perhaps she could break through before the competition. Once she broke through to become a two-soul beast tamer's sacred master, her confidence would be much higher. Xiao Shiyu, Xiao Yunshu, and the others were resting. Lin Xian said, I'll go to other places to take a look. You guys stay here first. With that, he took the demonic beast bag and left. Chapter 45-76. Lin Xian entered the Black Sea and continued to fly. He saw many demonic beasts, but he ignored them all. He was looking for something more terrifying than the Black Sea octopus. Just then, he heard a roar from below. It shook the 9 heavens. Even he was shocked. There was something terrifying. His eyes lit up and he flew over. In the next moment, he saw a black figure appear at the bottom of the sea. It had a terrifying aura. It was the Blackwater mystical snake. Lin Xian was shocked. It was also a mutated beast. Once fully grown, it would be terrifying. It was a famous beast in the ancient times. He didn't expect to see it here. From what he saw, it should be very young. The corners of his mouth curled up into a smile as he quickly struck out. The Blackwater mystical snake saw him too. He was only a beginner Saint King, but he dared to attack him. A cold smile appeared in his eyes. He waved his tail. It was like a heavenly blade. Instantly, he mobilized the law of water around him and attacked. This power was really too strong. The Blackwater mystical snake wasn't a mutated beast. It was only a beginner Saint King, but it could easily kill a mid-stage Saint King. Lin Xian slapped out. The 9 suns' divine fire burned and the seawater around him disappeared. The law of water was also resisted. He grabbed the snake's tail. The Blackwater mystical snake roared. His eyes were filled with killing intent. He didn't expect his opponent to be so strong. His body moved as he continuously contended against the attack. Lin Xian clenched his fists and clashed with his opponent. Every attack was like thunder in the deep sea, shattering everything. The beasts in the sea all crawled in fear. After hundreds of attacks, the Blackwater mystical snake retreated. Many of his scales had fallen off and there were cracks on his body. Damn it! His physique was so strong, but at this moment, it was actually injured by the other party. Thinking of this, he gritted his teeth. He roared. The law of water appeared and circled around his body. His 1,000-meter-tall body quickly shrank until he was only about 1 meter tall. Although his body had shrunk, he was still able to reach a height of 1 meter. Although he was small, his power was more terrifying. It helped him move faster. He turned into countless afterimages and charged over, his speed 10 times faster than before. How terrifying! Lin Xian was also astonished. With his power, even a middle-stage Saint King's body would have long since been torn apart. However, his opponent had only been wounded, and that was all. One could well imagine how powerful the other party's body was. It was even more terrifying than a saint artifact. Now that it was charging over at such a fast speed, it was truly like a sharp sword. Lin Xian stood where he was without moving. He pushed his divine body to its limits, and at the same time, his eyes kept moving. He could clearly track the snake's movements. What he wanted to do was to subdue the other party, not kill the other party, so he had to use his own methods. The Blackwater mystical serpent attacked rapidly. In a flash, millions of attacks landed on Lin Xian. The void around Lin Xian kept splitting apart, making clanging noises. The dark water mystical snake stepped back and sneered. Yi Futian was dead for sure. When he discovered that he couldn't break through his opponent's attack, he was stunned. He was furious and attacked again. Like a black demonic sword, it charged over. However, it was caught by Lin Xian. Lin Xian's lips curled up. His golden eyes looked at the other party, piercing into the Blackwater mystical snake's soul. The Blackwater mystical snake roared. Damn this guy. He was a beast tamer. He wanted to control him. What a joke. He would never allow himself to be controlled by an ant. He let out a furious roar. The power of his bloodline was limitless. All the beasts within thousands of miles all prostrated themselves. This was the pressure of his bloodline. Above the sea, the Black Sea octopus's 10,000-meter-long body also trembled. What happened? Xiao Yunshu was shocked. Did a top-level beast show up? Xiao Shiyu also frowned. What a terrifying bloodline pressure. It must be a mutated species of the world, and an extremely terrifying one. She wondered where Mr. Lin was. Would he be in danger? If such a beast came out, everyone would retreat. Could Lin Xian have encountered one at this moment? She even wanted to go and look for him. However, at this moment, Mr. Xiaoyao said, "Don't worry. Mr. Lin is fine." As soon as he said that, Xiao Shiyu was stunned. So was Xiao Yunshu. She knew that Mr. Xiaoyao had been suppressing Lin Xian before. Why was he speaking for him now? It seemed that something must have happened between the two of them, but she didn't know what it was exactly. The Blackwater mystical snake's bloodline pressure was extremely terrifying. He wanted to use it to suppress Lin Xian. Unfortunately, he was wrong. Lin Xian was unmoved. The golden light in his eyes became even more terrifying. At the same time, Lin Xian also let out a dragon roar. It shook the sky. It was even more terrifying than the bloodline pressure before. The Blackwater mystical snake was completely stunned. His opponent's bloodline was even higher than his. The roar made him feel fear from the bottom of his soul. At this moment, thousands of beasts roared as if they were worshipping their king. Some of the weaker ones even cracked and turned into blood mist. The octopus on the sea almost fainted. Xiao Shiyu and Xiao Yunshu were also shocked. This roar was even more terrifying than before. Could it be that two top-level beasts were fighting? It was unimaginable. After the dragon roar, the Blackwater mystical snake was completely terrified. On the other hand, Lin Xian unleashed the power of his heavenly fortune god eyes and took control of his opponent. Lin Xian let go of his hand. The Blackwater mystical snake floated there. "Greetings, Master." He also spoke. His voice was very young. And it was a woman's voice. "Very well, you can live in the sea for now. When I need you, I will summon you. During this time, try to recruit as many subordinates as you can." Lin Xian gave the order. The Blackwater mystical snake expressed that he understood and turned to leave. Lin Xian's eyes flashed. He did not need the snake now. But once he left this place, when he returned to Ethereal Peak, the snake would become a sharp sword for him. He did not expect the Blackwater mystical snake to be so troublesome. Lin Xian saw that it had been a long time. He was afraid that Xiao Shiyu and the others would come to find him. And the two roars just now definitely attracted their attention. Lin Xian did not recruit any more beasts. He turned and left. On the sea, Xiao Shiyu was extremely nervous. It had been a long time and Lin Xian was still not back. "I'm going to look for him," Xiao Shiyu said. "No, there must be top-level beasts fighting just now. It will be very dangerous for us to go there. And don't worry. That guy is a coward. I bet he won't dare to go there," Xiao Yunshu said. "Is that so? Then where should I go?" At this moment, a voice was heard. Then, a figure flew out from the sea. "Lin Xian, you're back." Xiao Shiyu was overjoyed. Chapter 45-77. Next, the group continued to move out and captured a few more beasts before leaving. After returning, Xiao Shiyu and Xiao Yunshu separated. They each went into seclusion to prepare to control these beasts. Xiao Shiyu went back and prepared to control the Black Sea octopus with all her might. This was an even more terrifying existence than the Black Fire Demon Ape. Lin Xian said there was no hurry. Let's adjust to the peak state first and then prepare to make a move. Xiao Shiyu nodded. She now believed in Lin Xian unconditionally. Taking a deep breath, a sharp light burst out from her eyes and she began to cultivate in seclusion. Finally, she adjusted her body to the peak state. She stood up and looked at Lin Xian. Lin Xian said, "It's the same as before. I'll help you." Xiao Shiyu nodded. "Thank you. Recently, I've also made a breakthrough in the phantom sound. I'll definitely succeed this time." The two of them began to make a move. On the other side, Xiao Yunshu also went into seclusion after returning. She was also incomparably nervous. This time, she wanted to try to control a beast. This was an electric eel. It was very terrifying. Although it was only 2 meters long, its body was surrounded by lightning and could pierce through the 9 heavens. Moreover, this was an existence that had reached the middle stage of the Saint King realm. Although it had just reached that stage, its aura was incomparably terrifying. Xiao Yunshu's eyes shone with a piercing light. This time, she must succeed. This way, she could become a one-soul saint master. This was an identity that she dreamed of. "Xiaoyao, please help me with all your strength," Xiao Yunshu said in a deep voice. She knew that these sects of his were all here to pursue her, especially this young master Xiaoyao. Previously, he had all kinds of solicitude and concern for her. Although she hated it, she had to rely on his strength. Especially this time. Young Master Xiaoyao nodded and said respectfully, "Fairy Yunshu, don't worry. I will help you with all my strength." After saying that, he stood there and began to make preparations. Xiao Yunshu was surprised. That's not right. He's completely different from the previous young master Xiaoyao. This made her puzzled. She remembered that ever since young master Xiaoyao was chased back, he had changed. He was completely different from before. This made her very puzzled. What happened before? This guy came back with Lin Xian. Could it be that something happened in between? When she thought of Lin Xian, Xiao Yunshu clenched her teeth. That damned bastard, he was so strong. If he could help her, then she would have died. She would definitely be able to become a one-soul beast controlling sacred expert. Unfortunately, this guy completely ignored her, which made her feel defeated. No, I have to calm down. Xiao Yunshu, calm down. One day later, she was ready to make her move. Endless great Tao surged from the electric eel in front. Terrifying lightning surrounded the 9 heavens. Xiao Yunshu's face paled as she tried to defend herself with the phantasmal melody. At the same time, beside her, the jade-white lion also roared towards the sky, releasing a large amount of clouds and mist to resist. Mr. Xiaoyao was assisting from the side. On the first day, Xiao Yunshu couldn't hold on any longer because the power of the lightning was too frightening. However, she gritted her teeth. She was unwilling to give up, so she performed the phantom sound song with all her might. On the second day, her hallucinatory melody had a breakthrough and reached a deeper level. This greatly increased her strength. Finally, she succeeded in subduing the electric eel. The 2-meter-long electric eel flew over and circled around her arm. Endless thunder enveloped her. This time, it wouldn't be a threat to her. Xiao Yunshu waved her hand, and monstrous lightning pierced through the void, releasing a thunderous sound. This scene shocked the Xiao clan. Countless people were surprised. What was going on? That was Fairy Yunshu's residence, right? Could it be that she had subdued a powerful demonic beast? A figure flew over, and those elders also flew into the sky. Because they felt that the electric eel was also very strong. Many people came to Xiao Yunshu's residence. Among them, an old man asked, "Yunshu, did you succeed?" This old man had a head of red hair and was abnormally excited. Yunshu was also happy. "Grandfather, I succeeded. I really succeeded in subduing this electric eel." "Great, with your current strength, you are already a one-soul beast controlling sacred expert." The surrounding people were also surprised. Really? Wasn't she on par with Xiao Xiyu? Because the current Xiao Xiyu was also a one-soul beast controlling sacred expert. Another old man nodded. Yes, she was very strong. Although she wasn't as strong as the black fire demonic ape, she wasn't too far off. Yunshu indeed had the qualifications now. Congratulations. The young disciples began to congratulate her. The elders also congratulated the red-haired old man. The red-haired old man and Xiao Yunshu were very happy, especially Xiao Yunshu. He was really excited. This was great. He broke through before the mountain sea battle. This way, he could shine during the beast battle. In the sky, a middle-aged man was somewhat gloomy. Damn it, did Yunshu also break through? First, it was Xiao Xiyu, and now it was Xiao Yunshu. This made him gnash his teeth. This was Xiao Xiyu's uncle. At this moment, he wasn't very happy. At this moment, a sky-shaking voice came from afar, shaking the 9 heavens. Everyone was surprised. Those demonic beasts also crawled on the ground, and even the electric eel on Yunshu's side. The lightning energy that filled the sky also became dim. What had happened this time? Everyone was surprised and turned their heads to look. An elder exclaimed. That was Xiao Xiyu's residence. This voice. Could it be that she had subdued an even more powerful demonic beast? That's right, I can feel it. The power of this demonic beast is even more terrifying than the black fire demon ape. Let's go and take a look. Countless elders rose into the sky. The young disciples of the Xiao clan were also stunned. No way, how long has it been? Could it be that Xiao Xiyu's strength has become stronger again? As expected of the number 1 sky pride. This was the aura of the Black Sea octopus. Xiao Yunshu could naturally feel it too. He also followed along. At the back of the mountain, the huge Black Sea octopus slowly shrunk until it was the size of an apple. It flew onto Xiao Xiyu's palm. This was great. She finally succeeded. Xiao Xiyu was also happy. This was great, she had finally subdued it again. Of course, this was all thanks to Lin Xian. Before she could even thank him, countless people appeared in her residence. There were young disciples and many elders. Even in the palace far away, a woman flew over. A woman also flew over, her face filled with excitement. Xiao Yu, did you really succeed? This person was Xiao Yu's mother. When Xiao Yu saw her, she also flew over. Mother, I did it. This was great, this was great. The woman was extremely happy, and her face was full of tears. Ever since her father disappeared, she had been suppressed by her family. Fortunately, her talent was very high, and she finally became an elder. And now, her daughter showed that she was more talented than her. Chapter 45-78. The third elder from before also came. He looked at the middle-aged woman and said with a smile. Seventh elder, you really have a good daughter. Then, he looked at Xiao Xiyu and said, Xiyu, if you have any requests, just say it. The family will definitely satisfy you. That was great. He didn't expect Xiao Xiyu's talent to be so good. This was simply a great thing for the Xiao clan. In the sky, a middle-aged man, who was Xiao Shiyu's uncle, looked even colder. First it was Xiao Yunshu, now it's Xiao Shiyu. Damn it. Xiao Shiyu turned to look at the third elder and said, "Thank you, third elder. But I don't need anything. I feel good now." With Lin Xian's help, she really didn't need anything else. Everyone congratulated him for a while before leaving. At this time, Xiao Yunshu also walked over and said with a smile, "Sister Shiyu, congratulations." To be honest, she was still a little depressed. Because she had just broken through and became a one-soul beast-taming Saint Master, which brought her great joy. In her opinion, she wasn't inferior to Xiao Shiyu. She might even be able to surpass her in the future. But she didn't expect that just as she broke through, the other party also broke through and was still one realm ahead of her. This made her know that it would be difficult for her to catch up with this sister. However, she had always been on good terms with Xiao Shiyu, so Xiao Shiyu broke through. She was naturally happy. "Thank you, Sister Yunshu. You have also broken through to the beast-taming Saint Master. I think you will definitely shine during the Mountain Sea Beast battles." The two of them chatted for a while. Then, Xiao Shiyu prepared to leave. Not long after, she heard Xiao Shiyu say from behind, "Young Master Lin, thank you very much this time. I'm going to give you the Black Fire Demon Ape and let it become your mount." "What?" Xiao Yunshu didn't continue walking. She stopped and turned around. "Sister Shiyu, how can you give such a precious beast to him? This kid didn't say anything to you again, did he?" After saying that, she glared fiercely at Lin Xian. "You brat, are you up to something again?" One had to know that the Black Fire Demon Ape was a beast even more terrifying than her deep-sea electric eel. Countless people would be jealous. Now, she wanted to give it a gate. Lin Xian didn't want it at first because it wasn't of much use to him. However, when he saw Yunshu's expression, he smiled. If he said yes, then I won't stand on ceremony. Then, he looked at Yunshu. "What, do you have a problem with that?" "Unfortunately, it's useless even if you have opinions." Yunshu was so angry that she was about to vomit blood. Her face was pale. Damn it, she really wanted to bite him. No, she was crazy. She felt that she would faint from anger if she stayed any longer. Xiao Yunshu quickly left. She truly did not understand why Xiao Shiyu would treat this guy so well. Seeing Yunshu leave, Lin Xian smiled and said, "You should keep the Black Fire Demonic Ape. I don't need it. Besides, aren't you going to participate in the Mountain Sea Trials? It might come in handy." "How am I supposed to thank you?" Xiao Shiyu asked. She stared at Lin Xian as a strange feeling arose in her heart. "If you really want to thank me, then get into the top 10 in the Mountain Sea Beast battles." Next, the two of them continued to cooperate and cultivate. Although Xiao Shiyu had broken through this time, she still felt pressured. At least, it would be very difficult for her to defeat Qing Qin. Because Qing Qin was already a two-spirit beast tamer Saint Master. It was said that he did not need anyone's help and could control a terrifying mid-stage Saint King beast. He could even control two beasts. His strength was unparalleled. Moreover, he would definitely have a powerful assistant to help him in the Mountain Sea Trials. Maybe he could control 3 beasts or more. He would definitely be a strong opponent. Lin Xian's eyes flickered when he heard that. He was indeed strong, but he was not afraid. When the time came, he would let him know the consequences of daring to attack him. Another month passed, and the Mountain Sea Coliseum was already very close. On this day, the Xiao clan became extremely lively because from now on, they would select the people to participate in the Mountain Sea Trials. Not everyone was qualified to participate. After all, these people represented their families when they went out. If they were too weak and were eliminated, their clans would lose face. Therefore, every clan would hold a test in advance and let the experts who passed the test participate. This way, the success rate would be much higher. Today was the day of the Shao clan's test. Those who were prepared to participate moved quickly and headed to the square. It was the same for Xiao Shiyu. She was ready. Today, Xiao Shiyu was wearing a long red dress. It was obvious that she had dolled herself up. She came to Lin Xian, twirled around and asked with a smile. How was it? Was it okay? Lin Xian was also stunned. He had to admit that Xiao Shiyu was indeed a peerless fairy. Soon, he came back to his senses and said with a smile. It was not just okay, it was quite okay. Then, he said with a smile, no wonder Qing Qin wanted to marry you. I think anyone else would have made the same decision. What about you? Xiao Shiyu asked. Lin Xian was stunned. He did not expect her to ask that. All right, I'm just kidding. Xiao Shiyu blushed and changed the topic. Are you going to wear this? She did not care at all. Lin Xian said, it doesn't matter. I rely on my strength anyway. You really know how to brag. Just then, a cold snort sounded. Xiao Yunshu walked over. Today, she had dolled herself up meticulously, looking like a fairy. When she heard Lin Xian's words, she was displeased. Why did she want to beat this guy up so badly? Yunshu, you're here. Xiao Shiyu smiled. Xiao Yunshu said, Sister Shiyu, let's go. Then, the two of them walked forward. The square was bustling with noise. Today, other than those who were out on missions or in seclusion, everyone else from the Shao clan was here. They were all gathered here. It was a huge crowd. This was a big event for the Shao clan. Not only were the young ones here, even the elders were here. Among them were the 10 elders. They were the judges for this event. Look, Fairy Yunshu is here. Fairy Shiyu is here too. Someone exclaimed. Countless disciples of the Shao clan turned their heads to look in the direction of the voice. The next moment, their eyes widened. They were simply way too beautiful. The crowd consciously opened up a path for the two peerless fairies to walk through. Faced with countless envious gazes, the two of them were calm. These gazes had been with them since they were young. They would be with them in the future as well. When they arrived at the front of the square, the two of them separated and each took a spot. Lin Xian and young Mr. Xiao Yao followed behind. Lin Xian took a step forward and stood beside Xiao Shiyu, causing countless people to exclaim. Who was this person? What rights did he have to stand beside Fairy Shiyu? That's right. Where did he get the rights from? Many people gritted their teeth. Someone asked, could he be Fairy Shiyu's disciple? The moment those words came out, everyone was stunned. Didn't they say that Xiao Shiyu had no disciples? Why was she here? Chapter 45-79. Third Elder was also surprised. He looked at Lin Xian curiously. He had an impression of this person. He seemed to have seen him once before when Xiao Yu subdued the black fire demon ape. The other time was when she subdued the deep-sea octopus. This guy was there both times. Could it be that he had something to do with it? Was he Xiao Yu's assistant? The others were also surprised. Eldest uncle walked up and sneered. Xiao Yu, don't tell me that this is the assistant you found. Yes, that's right. Young Master Lin is my assistant. He will participate in the Mountain Sea trials with me. Xiao Yu said loudly. As soon as she said that, the surrounding people were stunned. What? Is that really the case? How could this guy be so lucky? That's right. Who is he? Why haven't I seen him before? Oh, I remember now. It's that guy. During the test, he blocked 100,000 flying swords and even said that he was here to look for Xiao Yu. At that time, many people sneered and mocked him. They didn't expect him to really do it. So what if he blocked 100,000 flying swords? The Mountain Sea Trials wasn't child's play. Moreover, he was Xiao Yu's assistant. Eldest uncle said coldly. Xiao Yu, the Mountain Sea Trials isn't your own business. It also represents the glory of the Xiao family. I can't believe you. Get someone else. This kid isn't qualified. That's right. Kid, leave quickly. It should be me. Many people around gritted their teeth. Lin Xian frowned slightly. He looked at the middle-aged man and sneered. You're such a busybody. Are you the leader of the Xiao family? Are you a core elder? You're nothing. Do you have the right to speak here? You're courting death. Eldest uncle was furious. He gritted his teeth so hard that they were about to shatter. Detestable brat, a small sect like yours actually dares to lecture me. Do you have the right to speak? If I say he does, then he does. Xiao Shiyu also stood out. The atmosphere between the two parties was a little tense. At this moment, the third elder said, Keep quiet. What are you doing? Eldest uncle snorted and retreated. Xiao Yu didn't say anything. The eyes of the seventh elder, who was the middle-aged woman, flickered. Although she did not know why she would allow such an unfamiliar young man to come, she still believed in Lu Yu unconditionally. Next, the third elder said that all those who were preparing to participate in the Mountain Sea Trials should come forward to sign up. Soon, dozens of figures walked out. There were indeed quite a number of people. One could imagine how many geniuses there were in the Xiao clan. However, it was clear that it was impossible for so many people to participate in the competition. The third elder said that those who were unable to control Saint King-level demonic beasts were to leave. As soon as these words were spoken, half of the people immediately retreated. They looked unwilling, but they really didn't have the strength to do so. There were still a dozen or so figures left. The third elder said in a clear voice. Then, let the second test begin. Take the Tiger Demon Heavenly Thunder Drum. 2 Saint Kings carried a large drum and walked over. Even the void kept shaking. This was a terrifying sacred weapon. The moment it appeared, it brought with it an extremely strong soul suppression. The expressions of the surrounding people became grave. They retreated one after another. The other elders formed seals with their palms and formed a barrier around the square, enveloping the participants. The third elder looked around and said, Next, I will activate the Tiger Demon Sky Drum. Those who can withstand 3 attacks can stay and participate in the test. Those who fail will withdraw. After saying that, he slapped his palm on the drum. A terrifying sound of thunder rang out, accompanied by the sound of a tiger's roar that swept out in all directions. This was an extremely strong soul power. Many people in the surroundings instantly felt suppressed. A few figures retreated, vomiting blood and looking pale. Lin Xian was also surprised. This drum was not ordinary. It was obviously made with the skin and bones of demonic beasts. It was extremely terrifying. Only those with extremely powerful souls would be able to withstand it. Among the dozen or so figures, some of them could not withstand it. They were all injured and were rescued by the elders. There were still some people left. These people were trying their best to withstand it. Some of them used terrifying soul powers. Some of them directly used the hallucinatory melody to resist it. Lin Xian also snorted coldly. His eyes shone with a golden light, forming a barrier to resist the sound. Although it was terrifying, it was not a threat to him. A second sound rang out. These people's faces turned even paler. Many of them even retreated. Another voice rang out, and immediately, another figure was sent flying while coughing up blood and fainting. Then, the third elder withdrew his palm and said with a smile, "Very good, you have all successfully passed. You can participate in the next mountain sea trials." "Great," Xiao Yunshu smiled. Xiao Shiyu's lips curled into a smile. Lin Xian looked around and realized that other than the helpers from the sept, there were only 5 disciples from the Xiao clan who had successfully passed. The 4 of them smiled, but one of them had an ugly expression. It was a man. At this moment, he shook his head and sighed. Although he blocked it, he fainted when he found the gate. Moreover, he was injured. How could he participate in the competition? Shaking his head, he could only give up helplessly. Without an assistant, his strength would not be able to get a good ranking. In this way, only 4 groups of people participated. Each group had an assistant to cooperate with them. Among them, other than Xiao Shiyu and Xiao Yunshu, the other 2 disciples of the Xiao clan were a woman and a man. That woman was slightly older than Xiao Shiyu, and she was extremely arrogant. Through Xiao Shiyu, he found out that this person was called Xiao Yu. Her father, who was Xiao Shiyu's uncle, was the middle-aged man. Lin Xian was surprised and narrowed his eyes. This Xiao Yu was also very strong. It seemed that the Xiao clan was very deep. The other people looked at the few people who passed the test and started discussing among themselves. They were incomparably envious. Many of the elders looked at Lin Xian with surprise. They did not expect Lin Xian to pass the test. It seemed that this unfamiliar man was quite strong. No wonder he could get Xiao Shiyu's approval. The uncle's face was cold, but soon, he sneered. "Let this kid participate. When the time comes, this kid will definitely die." This was because he knew that Qing Qin would marry Xiao Shiyu after the Mountain Sea Beast trials ended. Not only was Qing Qin strong and talented, but he was also arrogant and bad-tempered. Whoever he liked, he would never allow other men to stand beside her. It seemed that this Lin Xian was definitely unlucky. Letting Qing Qin do it would save him a lot of trouble. After getting rid of this kid and chasing Xiao Shiyu away, no one in the younger generation of the Xiao clan would be able to compete with his daughter. At that time, he would fight for more resources for his daughter. He would even help his daughter become the young clan leader and control the entire Xiao clan. That was his ultimate goal. At this moment, everything was going according to his plan. In front, the 3rd elder smiled and said, "All right, go back and rest. 5 days later, you will participate in the Mountain Sea Trials." Not only the Xiao clan, but the other clans were also experiencing a similar scene. Every clan selected a group of experts to participate in the Mountain Sea Trials. You're tuning into the LoveLore Library YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.